Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
A very good Thursday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports, presented by Play Alberta. Thank you to everyone for listening on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, watching on YouTube, or listening to us on podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Please be sure to hit that thumbs up button on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube. You can hit a thumbs up button on TuneIn as well, and subscribe to our podcast. Wherever you get your podcasts, as I said, we have all of our shows have their own podcasts. It'd be great if you could subscribe to all of them. It would be very good for us. The EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada Storage Experts, Tommy, Belle, Jasmine, Matt, Benny, with you here on the Hangout as it is Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final. Tonight, down in Sunrise, Tommy with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, 5 o'clock, Hudson's Street,
There we go.
West Edmonton Mall. He'll get you set with Hernan and Cass. How's everyone feeling today?
Excited.
Great. Is it today going to be a spicy show?
I don't think so.
Feels like it's everybody's
I
coming
feel
in
like there's a little bit of there's something in the air.
He was
I feel a little
muttering
there's a little
curse
tension in the air.
words.
I feel good. There's no zero
Really?
tension.
Okay.
I
There's
have no
no
idea.
tension.
I feel like I
I
felt
have
it.
nothing against any of four of you that are in this room.
No, I don't think about any of us in the
That's
here.
right, so there's no tension.
Okay, but there's something in the air.
That's okay.
But what good haircut, first of all.
Oh yeah, you got
Yeah.
one. You got a little trim.
Very nice.
Nice.
Look sharp.
Nice.
Secondly,
Every 4
what
weeks.
you averted my attention to blows my mind. I'm not going to say on air what it is, but I was just like, wow. Okay, juicy. I like it.
It's just, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
That's as far as I can go with that.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. There's no tension in the air.
There's no tension. Because tension to me says that there's tension amongst us.
Oh no,
There's zero
Yeah, we're
amongst
good.
us.
Yeah.
There's a person that he's like scared to enter the province of Alberta because I live here.
You have a
Oh
good
yeah.
vibe here.
Tim Peel.
No.
Put the
No, but
smack
it was
down
all
on
around
him.
that. It's someone involved with all that at the same time. That's as far as I'll go. Andre
love this.
Kopitar has just been named the Lady Bing Trophy winner, by the way. And the CFL has announced 7 going to the Hall. Who's going to the Hall?
That's a big class, isn't
I know.
it? Usually it's like 4 or 5, maybe.
Any elk? I don't notice any elks on this list, former elks.
As you
Even Brian
alluded to.
Chu's on here. Oh,
Brian-
Jermaine Copeland. Remember Jermaine Copeland?
Jermaine Copeland, talked to him on Friday.
Oh,
he
yeah?
is quite pleasant. Yeah. Him and Nick Lewis had a chance to talk to.
No
him.
way. I
Those
like
guys are
Jermaine
great,
Copeland.
man.
Oh,
And-
that brings me back.
Nick Lewis tailgates at Stamps games.
Really?
He was tailgating when he was a player, not drinking, but like
That's kind of cool.
he's a Texas guy, and Copeland I think is a Tennessee guy. Those guys are characters, man. And remember their receiving core. There's Lewis, there's Copeland, Kenyon Rambo, Brock Ralph. They had
Brock Ralph.
Yeah, Brock Ralph. They called him Little Brocky. And who else did they have at that time? Joffrey Reynolds was the running back before John Cornish came in. They were talking. They did all those celebrations. Remember, like the bobsleigh.
Oh, yeah.
And the bicycle, and then they hopped in the boat in Hamilton.
Yep. There were some good ones.
They had a chance to talk to Copeland. He was a character, man. And you know who was there? Fred Stamps on the Stamps sideline. Fred Stamps was, and it was just like, I think I told the story earlier in the week. I went up to him like, "Hey, Tom, I grew up in Edmonton. You know, watched you play. Hey, what's up, man? Nice to meet you." He was a smooth guy. And then I was like, "Isn't it weird being on this sideline right now with all these Stamps guys?" He goes, "Yeah, it is." But he's my friend. Nick Lewis is his buddy.
He's still got the hair, like the same hair? Or is he trimmed?
He was wearing a hat. I think he
Okay.
did have it pulled back. He is a cool guy. Like you can just tell he's one of those guys that just glides. Everywhere he goes, he glides. Just smooth. Really nice guy.
The weirdest double E ever on a Stamp sideline was when Rick Campbell was there as DC, I think, and Hugh was there in a Calgary Stampeders hat. And it's like, ooh, that just doesn't look right. I know
Yeah.
he's supporting his son, but it was like, ooh, no. And that's not an ooh in a good way. That's an ooh in a bad way.
But here's the funny thing, and I agree with you. But Hugh Campbell was he's a rider legend.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
the
he
crazy
comes
part
to
of all
Edmonton,
that.
becomes Mr. Eskimo, and it is crazy. And so
Coach,
is Ronnie
GM,
Lancaster.
presidents. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. It's funny.
It's a
Whatever.
small league.
We take them.
Yeah.
They're ours.
Jasmine loved Snoop Dogg the other day. You were impressed by his throwing arm and the strength he could get the ball to the upper deck.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
He actually did. He fired like full-size CFL balls up into the
Really?
second deck.
He's an
He signed them.
athlete. That's not shocking, but that's
Snoop
cool.
Dogg.
Yeah.
Yeah, we learned he was a quarterback or something from Mississippi, as Nick Anderson wants people
right.
to know.
Okay, is that like a conspiracy? Because he's from Long Beach.
I know.
I think his parents are from
searched it up,
Mississippi.
and
Yeah.
it said he was born in Long Beach. So
His parents, I think, were
Yeah.
from Mississippi or something.
okay.
So Nick Anderson wants people to know it's from Mississippi, though.
Oh, okay.
He's repping his state. It's all
Yeah.
good.
And
Sick.
you guys were talking about was it Tulane Green Wave? Mm-hmm. I went and
Great
looked at
logo.
their uniforms. That color scheme is actually really nice.
Well, yeah, I forgot about that. I was going to look at that too.
Because you were
Tulane
here
Green
talking
Waves.
with those guys too, yeah.
It is they have a great logo. It's too bad they're not a bigger program, so you don't see them all the time.
Are you looking it up, Jazzy? I'm curious to know what you think of their uniforms.
That's the logo.
Oh, interesting.
It's like
the green wave.
baby blue with green and white. And I think they mix in a little bit of black trim.
That is adorable, though. It's too cute.
I don't think you want that as a football team. A little
Yeah,
bit.
we're going to
That's
play
one of their
against a team
jerseys.
that looks
Yeah.
adorable and
That's
cute
so
this weekend.
The
look
colors
a-
are so cute too.
They look a little bit like North Carolina. A little
Yeah,
bit.
but you get that green.
But
Yeah,
you
but
need
you have
to
the
look
green
at the
trim
helmets
there,
on the
yeah.
side.
Yeah.
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 If you don't look at the helmets on the side, you don't see the green as much. They do have a green uniform too, which is nice.
And then Oregon, yeah, I saw that one. I looked at all of them because I was wondering what Nick was talking about. Because yeah, you brought it up with him. Somebody texted in.
Jay texted me after the show. He's like, yeah, "Is that the best logo in NCAA?" I asked Nick. So I was like, Nick, what do you think?"
He's a by far.
Because the thing, Nick Anderson and Royce Metier, they stuck around for another like 15 minutes. We just had a nice chat
Awesome
with them after.
guys.
Good
Awesome
dudes.
So much personality.
Yeah.
It actually went by really fast to hang out.
The one thing is the CFL has a lot of great personalities. There's a lot of great stories within that league, and it's a shame that there's not more media that there used to be covering them because there's a lot of great stories to be told from the CFL.
That is true. A couple quick things on uniforms. Did you guys see Oregon's reveal of their new like mutagen uniforms? You know how they do like 10 new jerseys every year because they have Nike right in their backyard.
Yeah, no doubt.
Which is cool. They did this like thing where they took like their original Ducks throwback uniform and then they like hooked them up as like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Ooze. They kind of did like this whole scene thing on social media and it transformed the jersey into what they're going with this year. It looks sick. Their jerseys, they're always pretty damn nice, I have to say. I just thought that was really interesting. And then I want to cap this football talk off with, I watched the Brett Favre Untold on Netflix yesterday.
Yeah. Tell me more about that.
Has he
a
finally
bad
given his
dude.
money to Mississippi?
No,
Oh, okay.
not a good dude.
Not a good dude.
Not that I mean, when that story broke about him getting the government or the state government to divert money from what would be welfare to a new gym / stadium for the volleyball team at the university for his daughter, and then he got like a $1.1 million payout as well, and he's texting government officials saying, "Am I going to get caught for this? Will media find out?" They found out.
And nothing's happened yet.
No, nothing has happened. He's testified. He said he had Parkinson's, and now he's like a volunteer high school coach or something like that. Not a good dude.
He gets away with everything.
And they had the Jen Sturger
Yeah.
thing in it, and she's like, I've never actually met him before in person.
He was just sending dick pics to somebody he'd never met before.
That's right, because she was the in-host or in-stadium host. And,
The audacity.
and he was,
Yeah, don't do that.
He
The
hit her-
audacity.
Dick pics in general. Like, even
Yeah.
if you know someone,
Exactly.
unsolicited
The
dick
audacity.
pics are just one thing that I'm just going to
So
say.
pissed.
I think we'd all say, don't do that. Don't do that.
I'd be so pissed.
Just the, like,
And there it goes.
look at her on the
Derailed.
screen.
Yeah.
Here's my
You
dick.
don't even know her. The audacity you have.
yeah. Well, he hit her up on MySpace. That's how
MySpace.
That's how thirsty he
That
was
took
for
9
her.
minutes of this show to derail the conversation.
And we're off the rails.
Anyway,
Man, that is
Anyway.
fantastic.
I love football.
Speaking of jerseys, Mitch Marner jerseys are on sale. They're the only ones on sale right now.
Uh-oh.
Isn't that wild?
I
Cryptic.
gotta get rid of them.
Cryptic. Just
love it.
saying.
I just like exciting free. Did you remember the day when there was like big name free agents?
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was great, and I hope that the few come off of this one, like that they do hit the market. Like an Aaron Ekblad in the market even would be fun. And like I remember the year it was Zdeno Chara and Wade Redden were two of the big names, and it's like where are they gonna go? And Chara ultimately went to the Bruins. Wade Redden stayed in Ottawa because they could only pick one, and they picked Wade Redden. I loved Wade Redden, but ultimately the wrong choice. But it's fun when the free agents hit the market.
Yeah,
So-
it really is.
Screw. And at the expense of the Leafs, awesome.
Yeah. From $250, they're $200. Just saying.
That's it? They're not $50?
I mean, the point is they're on sale.
Yeah.
And that's the only one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, just they could be more than that.
I mean, I don't care about the $50, but you know,
they're-
some people do.
These are Fanatics or like old Adidas? Jazzy.
Question.
Jazzy.
What's that?
These are Fanatics jerseys, or are they the old Adidas ones that they're trying to clear out still because they have
Oh,
leftover?
good. Benny, do you see the brand?
I can't see it on.
You can tell if they have like the perforated those little things in the shoulders.
Fanatics.
Also, that is the new one.
Yeah.
Apparently, I saw a tweet today that somebody said that the Sens would be.
Yeah, I was going to say that. And it wasn't Sentinel.
Yeah.
Never again.
That would be a splash.
Could you imagine?
I'd like
If the
to see
Sens
that,
got that?
actually. Yeah,
Like-
I'd be happy to see that.
That would be unbelievable.
That would be like a kid from Edmonton becoming a superstar in the NHL, being a 100-point guy, and then gets so frustrated with his hometown fan base and says, I'm going to sign in Calgary and put the boots to you guys. That's what that would be. And I'm here for it. Hello,
Hockey.
hockey.
Yeah.
nice.
Saturday.
Great plug, gentlemen.
Abby.
I don't know if we get into this part of the Oilers, but do we get into this discussion a little bit? I think we have to.
Oh, sure.
That full sarcasm right there.
Oh, we can get
I see?
into it. Sure.
Okay.
That's
'Cause I actually want Bellsy's take on
yeah.
this.
That's good. That's good.
Yesterday, the news around the Edmonton Oilers was supposedly to be an off day. Was also maybe going to be an optional. To turned out to be a full team practice.
No, it wasn't a full team practice because there's only 16
Okay,
guys on the ice.
a lot of the players go up.
So it's still an optional.
Okay, a lot of differing things on this. What's your thoughts on what happened yesterday?
If it was an optional, 16 players took the option, and then I call it a day.
It's my office.
That's
Sorry,
how, that's
Will
how,
sent me a picture.
we don't-
shirtless,
That's
changing in my
amazing.
office.
Phew, thought it was a dick pic.
What if he's naked?
Oh, my God. Oh, here we go.
Does he shave his nipple off? That's good
Yeah,
too.
he's very
Oh,
hairless.
my
Yeah.
God.
That's enough.
Will, are your
areola.
nipples short? Very
Like,
fresh.
why?
Oh, too much.
Yeah.
Like, girls do not do that.
I hope that they don't have nipple hair to shave.
Shaving themselves?
Well,
Shave. Oh,
Okay, so back to
Never
this.
mind.
no.
What's
words,
happened
no.
yesterday?
Let's pull this right
Wait,
back
it's
to where it
back.
needs to be.
Wait.
like, we'll do an outfit of the day, but like,
That's his OOTD right there.
Yeah, nipples on the
Okay,
glass.
I'm so sorry. Okay, we're talking media day. No, supposed no media day.
Bellsy.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you said, it was an optional, right?
Well, it was initially said to be
Day off.
a day off, and there were people that were told there wouldn't be anyone skating.
Okay. And then the Oilers decided it would be an optional, and then 16 guys went out for an optional. I do not see the issue.
If you're the Florida Panthers, you're seeing the Oilers playing a little bit of games with the media type thing here. Do
Unfortunately,
you think they're sweating?
no.
If you're the Panthers, do you not see that they're sweating a little
No.
bit? No.
Unfortunately, here's the problem. And I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, knowing full well where I'm sitting today. The world doesn't revolve around the media.
100%.
So the media that are complaining about it can cry to anyone they want to. Go down to the beach. There's plenty of people that listen to you. Go down there and worry about it. The Edmonton Oilers worry about what the Edmonton Oilers have to do, which is trying to win a hockey game and get themselves ready for that hockey game. So if I say, you know what, I'm not going to practice today, and then 5 minutes later I'm be like, you know what, I'm going to practice today, I get to do that. And guess what, little media guys? tough luck. Put your suit on, or wait, get your ass off the beach, go back to your hotel room, put a suit on, waltz your ass down to Amarant Arena.
It's not there.
Well, whatever, the practice rink, and do what you're supposed to do, because it doesn't revolve around you.
But if you're told it's an off day, then you don't.
Hang on. To clarify, this is no player availability.
Okay.
So it didn't even say it's an off day.
Well, there you go.
Okay, but I don't care about the media perspective of this.
Right,
I don't care about the
But
media in this one.
that's the people that are making a big deal of it.
I know, but here's where I go from the other side, and I will get to the other side with this, because I did talk to somebody that was former PR, did message, and one of the messages I got was Oilers running scared right now.
Of what?
Because you're playing games now. You're not like the Panthers aren't doing this. The Oilers didn't do this last year. No, this hasn't happened genuinely in the Stanley Cup final. That's where my perspective is from a Panthers perspective. I look across the room at the Oilers and I'm saying they're playing these games right now with the media. They're trying to block the media from talking to them in a sense. We're in their heads. That's what I'm viewing as the Florida Panthers. I don't care what the Oiler fans think. I don't care what the Oilers think at this moment. From a Panthers perspective, I'm laughing right now because I know we're in a better spot than them. That they're trying. They didn't do this after game one. Why are they doing it now? Because they're down 2-1 and they might be swimming right now, and we're in their heads. That's the view I get from the Panthers. From a media perspective, I will go, because I'm very curious by this, is just like Greg Wyshynski was there. And Luke Gazzola
was there too.
Luke Gazzola was on with Reed and Jay, and he went, it's the Stanley Cup Finals. Why don't you just at the rink?
Yeah.
So from that perspective, I don't care.
Yeah.
But to go with, we're not practicing, but then also practice.
I bet you it was an optional.
That's where it's like, okay, now it seems like you're playing games. And if I'm Paul Maurice, if I'm the Panthers players, I view that and gives myself a morale boost.
To be very honest with you, Matty,
playing.
I don't even think they worried about it.
Okay, because that's the only thing I look at. Again, I don't care about the media part of this. I look at it from, could the Panthers be looking at this going, we're in their heads?
I don't even think the Panthers even were worried about it. And I don't even think they even focused on it one bit.
Exactly.
The biggest issue right now is the fact that it went from being an off day to now it's 16 guys. And the guys that they possibly want to interview were on the ice. That's the whole thing. So it inconvenienced a few people. But I mean, that inconvenience, because I was just there, man, it's kind of nice. Just sit on the beach, relax.
That's the other part to this I have.
Like,
If I was told on an off day and I didn't have to go work and my boss is like, why aren't you sending something? I'd be like, well, they told us we had an off day.
100%.
I would have had my tea time booked right away.
No kidding. Like, find a way to get
I would have
somewhere
got
else.
like 36
Yeah.
in if I could have.
Yeah.
That's why you write advancers.
Like, I just don't see the issue.
Okay.
I told you where my issue is. And
no,
that's the only
I
thing.
get it,
That's the only one, is that you're giving a little bit of a morale boost to the Panthers,
Yeah.
maybe, where you think that maybe they didn't. But if they do see that, they might sit there and go, that gives us a little jump in our step. We just have 2 more to go, and we're in their heads.
So
That's
if
the
I
only
was going
thing.
to talk about that side of the games, I would be like more about, okay, well, Pickard starting. And then last minute, I'm throwing in Skinner. Like, to me, that's more of an attention grabber to a different, the other team.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, I'm skating, I'm not skating. Like, honestly, based on what I know of McDavid and Draisaitl and some of these guys, they want to be on the ice.
Well, they were on the ice, and that brings me to what I wanted to ask you guys. So, what message we received as media from Oilers PR was no player availability, Chris Knobloch at 10 a.m. over Zoom. That's exactly what happened. It didn't say we don't have ice. It didn't say we're not practicing.
But I
It just
think
said- it
Chris
didn't say
said the day before
that they're off.
there'll be a day off.
Okay.
I think that was the other part of this, that he had said at his press release,
Okay.
media avail or something, that players will be off.
Good point. Now, they have ice booked for each team every single day.
Okay.
The Black Aces skate, the Scratches skate. Connor and Leon skated, right?
Because they like to skate.
If those two weren't there, man, like Darnell went and skated. He also likes to skate. Maybe, you know, Arvidsson and Ekholm went and skated. I think Ekholm did skate.
Yeah, Arvidsson was on the ice as
Yeah.
well.
But if Connor and Leon weren't there, are we even talking about this?
Probably not, because those are the guys that people want to interview.
Correct.
And so they're all of a sudden like, well, okay, we got the day off. And then 2 minutes later, you're looking, you're like, they're on the ice. You're like, what the?
Yeah.
So
And I get, listen, as me, I'll say that I understand where the frustration comes from, because you're told one thing,
Yeah.
led to believe in one thing and then another. The opposite
Show up at the
happens.
rink at,
Well,
at
no,
the
and-
appropriate time.
And Knobloch was Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
which was odd.
which is also another thing, which is an indication there's no reason to come to the rink.
Yeah.
Fair.
That is the one thing.
But
we'll
was
say
there
with that.
guys at the rink?
Ended up, some guys did go to the rink, and I'll just like if you're in your work and something happened without you knowing in your job, you'd be upset. So I understand where the media would be upset
And
on this
that's
one
all.
too.
Yeah, that's just the point.
Like,
I'm not
you may-
defending anybody. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that's where like the frustration would come from. I'll add this. Do you want to?
Go for
I'll
it.
just add this too. And like even Bruce Boudreau pointed it out, and I've said it many times before. Everything in that area between Sunrise, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, is like a half hour drive.
Oh yeah, it's a solid 30. Yep.
traffic.
Jasmine was
Yeah.
there last year
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Game 7. So it's a pain in the ass, and you're gonna miss
Like,
something
if
you want
you-
to scramble.
If you have a weekly Wednesday meeting, your boss says, "Yeah, we're not going to have a meeting tomorrow," and then you end up not going to the meeting, but then the boss has a meeting last second, and you're not there. Like that's one that you would be upset. Well, no one told me that there's a meeting. So like you have to understand from a media perspective, for their job, they were told one thing, it didn't happen, and then it impacts their job. Now, should they be completely going and airing their grievances to the world? That's a different story.
no.
Yeah, they're not gonna get any sympathy.
I understand where that frustration is coming from. I do have lines for the Edmonton Oilers.
Nice.
They're skating. There's 2 lineup changes for tonight.
All right.
McDavid in between Nugent Brown, Draisaitl between Kane and Kapanen, Henrique between Skinner and Frederick, Janmark between Podkolzin and Perry. So Arvidsson is out. Skinner's going in. Kulak, Bouchard, Ekholm, Wollman, Nurse, Stetcher. So Klingberg is out. Stetcher is in. So again, Skinner and Stetcher in the lineup tonight. That is Jeff Skinner. I'm not seeing anything. It's going to be Stuart Skinner, so both Skinners. And out is Arvidsson and Klingberg. So again, McDavid, Nuge, Brown, Draisaitl, Kane, Kapanen, Henrique, Skinner, Frederick, Janmark, Podkolzin, Perry, defensively Kulak, Bouchard, Ekholm, Wollman, Nurse, and Stetcher. And I got that courtesy of many people at the rink. I don't have one
Skinner
person
is
to
your
credit.
Oh, so everybody's doing their job now.
Perfect. Skinner is in their job. It is there.
I don't know. Like I said, I think this is being so overblown.
It's the Stanley Cup
It's the
final.
Stanley Cup final. One team, both teams are trying to win. Media, you guys are on a vacation. Like, let's be honest, it's a vacation. So go to the rink for 2 hours, and if nothing happens, leave. Like, I get it. Like, if my boss did blah, 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 I get that. But the Oilers' job is to worry about the Oilers. The Florida Panthers' job is to worry about the Florida Panthers. And that's it.
You never do this when you're losing or winning.
that's
you
it.
never do this when you're winning. That's
Don't
the
matter.
part
Don't
I look
matter.
at that. I know, but that's why I go back to, if I'm the Panthers, it gives me a little bit of a jump in my step going into tonight, because we know we're in their heads. We saw what happened last game, and now they're playing games.
Nah.
That's ridiculous.
Why?
Because they're in St. Lauderdale, Sunrise.
Is
They're in
the main
Sunrise.
rink. Fort Lauderdale's home base,
Yeah,
and then the
they're in
practice
Florida, the
facility
freaking
somewhere.
state of
Yeah.
Florida. Okay,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
in Florida, and then you have 2 games at home. The Panthers should be worried.
Why?
Why do you think they're so confident? Because they got in their heads in the
Because
game.
they're up 2-1 in the series, and they're at home, and now the Oilers are playing games.
Okay,
And they're at home. There's a
People-
lot to be confident
people
for.
don't
And they won
understand.
the Stanley Cup last year against this team.
That's fine, but the Oilers are a confident team. What you saw was like self-destruct. Look, they went back to the place where they lost the Stanley Cup. You don't think they're going to be triggered and it's psychological? You don't think that's going to happen? Like, everybody calm down. Like, it's the second, like, this is the, whatever.
So they're not going to be triggered for Game 4 tonight?
No, because they got it out
Get
of
him,
their
Jazzy.
system.
Go, get him, Jazzy. Get him,
They're
Jazzy.
human beings.
Yeah.
Like, it's like going to
Get
your
'em.
ex's house and picking up your goddamn kid or
Yeah.
something, right? Like, now you're over it. Like, I can't stand how long this game is taking because the city has lost it. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Put it on the
Yeah,
EST Excel
Jazzy.
spreadsheet. That's
Yeah.
rant of the year.
Yeah.
They're going to win today. Watch.
Woo.
You're totally calm right now.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
But where I was speaking from a Panthers perspective.
Oh, awesome.
That's my belief. How, if you're the Panthers, you're not thinking that, oh, the Oilers are they're better than us right now. We're swimming. We're done.
Who
Why would the-
cares what they think?
But as a job of media, we have to discuss both sides. That's what we're doing right now.
Get him, Jazzy.
So
Get him, Jazzy.
Like,
Get him,
everybody
Jazzy.
keeps talking about them, and nobody's talking about how good the Oilers are. Like, McDavid had like 0 shots basically. Dry didn't do anything. They're gonna do it today. Watch. Today they're going to open the team up. There was the depth didn't show up like it was fighting. Don't take penalties. How about that? These things can be corrected. I don't care. The Panthers think you're in your head. Screw them and friggin' shave your beards or make them better. Friggin' straggly asses. Woo! Okay, that was the fan in me. And now yeah, in their heads. They're playing against Connor McDavid.
Who has 1 point in Fort Lauderdale in 5 Stanley Cup Finals games.
That's why I think they'll bring it today. Yes, please continue.
Well, I'll leave it to where should we go?
I love it.
I can't go to the
I
Panthers
love
here, so
it.
where should we talk about with this?
And no, it's fine. You could talk about the Panthers. My only point is just funny how people just kind of give up. And like this is probably gonna go to 6 or 7.
Yeah, well, we've talked about it. Like Benny, Tommy, and I've talked about this week. It's one of those where the Oilers win tonight. Series is completely flipped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everyone knows that. Right? Most people know that, but the fans are fans.
Mm-hmm.
They want to win so bad that they ride the emotional roller coaster. That's what it is. And right now, it's on the bottom end of the came off the cliff.
That's why I was laughing at all the texts I saw. The series is over. I'm like, guys, oh my god, like it's 2-1 series. If the Oilers win Thursday night, everyone's talking about how the Oilers are winning the Stanley Cup and they have home ice or best of 3 and everything's great. That's the difference of one game. Like
Benny, it was a bad game.
it was brutal.
It wasn't a
god-awful.
2-1, another like double overtime. It was just a very bad game.
I almost like that. That's what happened though. A little bit. If it was another close one that you lose, if you're Edmonton, you probably don't look to change much or anything. You kind of go, all right, well, roll the dice again in game 4. But this one was like an embarrassing loss.
Exactly.
It could pull the emotion strings a little bit and get them going for tonight. So
Did it perhaps galvanize the team?
it's
Yeah.
Make them come together.
That's just it. That's just it. Yeah.
I'm reading texts. I'm listening to Benny. Benny
I
sounds
know.
like he's been in the business for 30 years. He's rolling his eyes, talking like he's jaded already.
Oh
text-
my God.
One
How long
text
did it
says,
take you to get jaded?
oh, not that. Well, not that quick.
Oh man.
Not that
So good.
And then this text says, I love how Jasmine said, pick up your goddamn kids. That's the best. What is happening?
Oh.
Wow, those 2 days, they drive you crazy.
This is fantastic. I'm looking at Benny's like this. Oh, text messages. Oh, like you guys. You've aged, Benny. Any grays in there yet?
Yeah, I've only been here for like 6 weeks, man. I feel your pain. Like I feel like sometimes seeing those texts, it's just like I can't. I mean, I've been reading Twitter like for years already about this type of stuff, so it's kind of similar to the text.
You're living it, baby.
Yeah.
Thank God there's no calls. The only thing. Thank God there's no calls. This is Hangout Headlines for the Ranch Golf and Country Club, offering premier conditions, top-notch service, unmatched value. Book your tee time today by visiting theranchgolf.com. You can also book your golf tournaments there today. Still have time for that EST Golf Classic presented by Play Alberta. Will be played at the Ranch. We're less than a month away from that, so that one is going to be fun.
In all seriousness, Oilers, they need to score first. They need to silence that crowd.
Yes.
They need to get their own confidence up.
No
And
cap.
no cap.
On God.
No cap on God.
There he is.
And get the aura flowing.
Yeah.
Oh,
And they'll
this
be
is
all right.
great. This is great.
Keep your stick down. Jeez.
You should go coach him.
Really?
You should do the lineup read. Jump out of
Jump in the locker room.
Yeah.
Do the lineup read.
Oh man.
Get him fired up.
I would.
Oh, this is good stuff right now.
So Chris Kreider was traded.
That literally just happened minutes ago. Yeah.
Do we care?
I think anytime a longtime player leaves a team, it's notable.
They are becoming, well, you got Trouba on that team now.
Yeah.
Kreider. You got
Well,
Gudis.
Verbeek likes to help out Chris Drury for some reason.
Buddy, that team's going to become a problem quickly.
They've
They've got a bunch of menaces on that team. And they were kind of a plucky team.
Yeah.
Like they were played in your face hockey. They've got some
Anaheim,
skill. Yeah, Anaheim. And now they've got some guys that just don't. I mean, Trouba will forearm shiver you to the face at any moment. Gudis, he's looking to do the same. And Kreider, he will just flat out run your goaltender. They're going to be an interesting team.
Kreider's old now.
He is, but-
35?
Bad contract? No.
I think he got one of those long contracts. End of
Yeah.
career.
6 something.
But they're the other team that I heard was in on Marner. So if you can pull a Marner,
Yeah.
like does that
It's
does that
6.5 for 2 years.
What
does
is he,
that change the
35?
look at your team?
34. I don't know when his birthday is though. And Trouba's one more year at 8.
And he's expected to walk after that year.
Who's that?
Trouba.
Trouba.
But you're right. Like for 1 year, they could be good, and it kind of sets them on the right path because
Yeah.
they have a bunch of young guys.
When don't I see any age? Oh, there we go. April 91. So yeah, he'll play most of next season as a 34-year-old.
Okay.
Is Trevor Zegras going to be a star?
He is.
He's been on the trade block quite a bit.
Yeah.
He's tailed off his
Yeah.
career.
Yeah.
You know, from NHL cover boy
To
to just not.
That game sucked. Sorry, that was awful.
Did it?
Oh my god, that was the worst game they ever.
Worse than this year?
Yes.
Okay.
These two are rival each other, but the other, that 23 was the worst game they ever put out.
Tell me how you really feel.
yeah.
No, don't get me fired up.
No, I'm interested.
The grays that your hair is developing today are
Go off, young man.
Substantial,
Go
yes.
off.
It sucked. It was just brutal. It was like everyone hated it. It was the most like worst experience, and I thought they would never get. I thought that was rock bottom, and then they probably equaled that out this year too.
Please go into detail.
He has discussed this game before. He has discussed this game.
I know he has. I'm just trying to get him fired up.
he's already fired up.
I
He's
can
just-
see that. Yeah.
Dude, it's
There's like a slow boil there.
Yeah.
This morning I was the most tired I've been in a while, and yeah, this room has woke me up.
The what broke you up?
This room has woke me up.
Oh, I see.
Jazzy screaming at Maddie.
Yeah,
Yelling.
Did you like go up partying last night or something?
No,
Okay.
I ended up selling in ball hockey last night. That's
Oh yeah. Sorry, I don't want to.
no, yeah, sore spot, all good.
You could just said ball hockey
Good
to me.
cardio workout.
Yeah,
That's nice.
yeah.
Lots of running.
Probably should have done more cardio.
What is your takeaway of ball hockey?
No, I'm out. I'm out of that conversation.
Bellsy knows.
Why? Oh, you're with
No,
Tony
yeah,
on
no,
that
I'm
one?
no, I don't want to even step foot in that conversation.
I did forget to ask Nick Anderson or Royce Metier on air yesterday about the Rouge. I did forget to get him.
What did they say? What did they say when we
They're
were out
good
there?
with it.
What was the one that they wanted to get rid of?
Well, they liked the idea of
resetting downs.
The reset down punt. The little,
Yeah, they didn't like that
the
one.
drop
I
kick.
still am okay with that one.
That
but
one's the
I don't
worst.
like it.
It's
they're the
worst.
defenders, so I'll defer to them a little more on that one of how easy is that.
They hated it.
Yeah, I know. So that one I now more of like before I would have defended that play.
I know.
Because-
I'm well aware. You did before.
Why? I think it's
Gots to go,
stay
Maddie.
close to the line or something. But if the defenders are sitting there like it's impossible to do that type thing, then I'm good with getting rid of that. Then we haven't seen it yet this year. We saw it early last year, but it hasn't happened again.
It's just such an odd rule.
But they didn't mind the idea of a modified Rouge, like I brought up the one that I'll still defend.
No.
more than yours.
You
I know
tried.
I'll get to yours.
You tried to sewer me. Because
I didn't sewer you,
Was
that
it
was
you?
him.
No, it was you. Actually, you tried to sewer me.
I
like,
said because I
Yeah.
stand by missed field goal goes through the end zone. It's not a point.
Yep.
But if it lands in the end zone and they choose not to return it, that's where the point comes from. You though then came up with your modified, which I would like to see it. Which is if it's a missed field goal or punt.
Yep.
Both.
Yep.
If you don't return it, the ball's placed at the 5.
Yeah.
Right away, you're pinned deep. You got to go return it. Now, what happens if that goes through the end zone?
Then it goes through the end zone.
Where's the ball placed? 5, or is it just a normal like 25,
Just normal.
30?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to see that.
Because I think it puts the onus on the return team. Like, see what you got. You never know. But if you don't want to return it, now you're at the 5. Okay, now that's your punishment for not returning it. Because they're trying to obviously create more excitement, which special teams does from time to time.
It leads, your way would lead to some points too, because
Flips field position very quickly.
there's that. might lead to a safety. So it would be an interesting one.
Commissioner Bell,
But-
thank you. You heard it here first. Maddie agrees.
The
said
UFL
I'd
might
like to
be
see
in
it.
need of a new commissioner.
yeah.
The UFL might not be
with
around.
It probably won't. I'm going to go with the Rock, the XFL.
Yeah.
Does that still
Well,
exist?
The other day, the DC
UFL.
Defenders were playing against the St. Louis Battlehawks in the conference championship to go to the UFL final. And there was like 6,000 people in St. Louis, which was like the best.
I thought there was more than that.
It looked bad.
Oh, so okay.
It looked bad.
Well, they lost St. Louis, and I know people are upset about that. Well, there were some because they're like, well, this hurts the league because the only team that would fill out would be St. Louis.
Yeah, and it was.
And now they're out of the final. And I think the final's being held in St. Louis again. And St. Louis ain't showing up to go watch the
somebody else,
Defenders
yeah.
or Stans. I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
The Battlehawks?
No, that's
They
the
beat
thing.
them
But I don't know
back.
who's in the
Okay,
final.
okay.
And so some people are like, this might be the death nail of the UFL. Like, because it's a funny situation. Their TV numbers, they hit a little over $1 million for a couple of games this
like
season.
early in the season.
Yeah, and they'd be like on ABC or something that they get those numbers. But I think when I seen them,
Thank
bad
you.
English.
Thank you for
When I
clearing that
saw them, it was between 500 and 800,000. I think
Which
I
is
saw.
decent.
Which is funny though because TSN CFL numbers here is like 500,
500,000.
600,000, and we're 8 times less the population, or 8 less. They're 8 times the population that we have. But that gets praised a little bit, and no one praises the CFL in that same way. But their average attendance, you take St. Louis out of it, I think their average attendance is probably like 10, 11,000.
It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't think they have a TV deal that's making them money.
No.
I don't think ESPN and Fox are spending a lot of money on that. Unlike like TSN's 50 right now mil per season for the league. I think Stuart Johnson would like to see more come in for the next TV deal. I just don't know how long the UFL lasts.
I was watching it on Sunday. I'm like, what game? Oh, I'm like, this is UFL, and it said conference championship.
Oh, boy.
And I'm looking, and they're not showing the crowd. And then a couple times where the crowd was there, the end zones were empty, and then I saw the sides a couple of times, and I'm like, I know that's a huge stadium. That used to be Raymond James Dome in St. Louis, but like, it looked.
I
Like
think
there
the only
was
way that
10,000
people would look
there.
into it or buy into it is it potentially if they created it's the minor leagues of the NFL.
But they don't want to do that.
I know they don't want to do
People
it.
want to do it with the CFL.
Yeah.
CFL doesn't want to do it, and I don't blame the CFL.
I don't blame the
for not wanting to do it.
CFL, but if you're the UFL, you have to do that because then people can get behind some of these players. Okay, well, maybe that's that first rounder you send him into for that league. He gets some development games, whatever that looks
You're
like.
saying with the NFL?
Yeah, like have them like a partnership between
Yeah,
the
it'll
two.
never happen.
I know it won't happen. I'm just saying that's the only way for it to survive.
Because the NFL right now, they have the UFL, they have the CFL, they get the talent, they don't have to spend a dime.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll never do it, but
know.
if you're the UFL, you hope for that so that fans can embrace something so that they can look at it. But
I understand
no,
that.
I don't disagree with you guys at all.
And for the sake of the CFL, as a big CFL fan, I hope that the UFL goes away, and then there are good players down there, and then they make their way up here.
Yep.
I'm just glad it's the end of the UFL season because if Vincent Blanchard doesn't do well next week, maybe there's a kicker
coming in. Yeah.
Maybe there's a new kicker because they desperately need that one.
Well, that Narvison, I saw 3 Down Nation posted a story on him. He was here for like 3 days.
Oh, the guy that they brought in during camp?
Yeah, the one who
Okay.
played for Green Bay, and I think
Titans for a game.
yeah, last year, and he barely got a sniff here.
Why didn't you get a sniff?
Because Blanchard was here. And I don't think I don't think there was any opportunity for him to be like, hey, we're going to cut Blanchard. And
But they might be keeping this guy on standby, kind of thing.
I would hope.
Yeah.
I think Ed's smart enough to know that. Like, I don't think Ed came through camp going, I'm good with kicker. I think he came through camp going,
Wait, he missed 3, right?
an extra point and 2 field
Yeah.
goals. All left.
Yes.
That's the one thing, though.
Yeah. I did watch that game.
For Snoop Dogg, or just you watched it because you
I
liked
watched it because I like
I'm
the team now.
kidding. I watched it for
Because
Snoop
I'm a
Dogg.
season ticket holder. Thank
There
you.
you go.
Who's missing the home opener?
Don't even do that, Maddie.
You could do both.
Don't even do that,
You
Maddie.
could go to a golf tournament, golf around, and then head on to the game. Make it just it's called pacing yourself, Bellsy. Pacing yourself.
Your seats are in the party deck.
I'm a full throttle type person.
Hold off on full throttle till the end.
Don't
Jazzy,
want
do
to.
you want to go to a game with him?
Oh yeah, for sure. How much fun would that be?
A lot.
Right? I thought you were gonna hook it up. Remember the whole, because you got like,
Four seats.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Party deck. Yeah.
Some bottles. It'll be fun.
There's no bottles there.
Do you like cans of
Cans.
hard iced tea?
Can't have bottles, Jazzy.
Yeah, no bottles.
It's Edmonton.
It's cold. It's fine. I'm good.
Okay, we can do that. There's ice.
By the way, CFL Week 2 does begin tonight as
I will
well.
send you my picks.
I got to get Huss to send me his picks. I'm on with Huss with the lock shop later today. We'll do our best bets for the week too. Interesting line movement actually on Play Alberta. Montreal began this week slight underdogs. I think it was +1 on the spread, +100 on the money line. I got in on that one. They're now down to, I think it's 4.5 favorites. Drew Brown isn't playing. Now that game's tomorrow. Tonight it is Winnipeg's home opener against the Lions. No Zach Collaros though.
Yeah.
Because he's suspended for not getting back to the drug testers.
Yeah, he missed their calls.
Yeah, you have like 24 hours to do it.
Whoops.
I'll have to figure out what Huss thinks of that. Dylan Mitchell, former Elk, scratched for this game.
Well, he was like practicing with the third team all training camp.
Yeah, Huss says very disappointing.
Yeah. And the only saving grace he has is that they like flew him in, showed him around. He was like their big free agent signing.
Yeah, he's big fish.
And he's done diddly squat. I remember Hernan saying that Mitchell struggled in training camp the last 2 years, I think. That's too bad because he's a talented player when he wants to be.
Yeah, but Lions, we'll see. We'll see if Nathan Rourke, like I think for Elks fans, if they go out and beat Winnipeg tonight, it gives it a little more. Okay, this is who we lost to in week 1. If you're a fan, that's what one thing you could say.
Yeah.
You want Nathan Rourke to look like Nathan Rourke again. But if the Bombers keep this close and it's like a 16-17, 17-16 ball game or something, then you might be like, ugh.
With Strev Show,
Yeah.
former Cardinal.
Who apparently had a great camp too. I don't buy it.
He's coming off a torn knee.
Well, I don't buy him as a starting quarterback.
Neither do I. He's Taysom Hill light.
Exactly. I just, well.
Some Hill light. Oh,
He
boy.
is. That's why he got a shot in the NFL.
Yeah. I'm once again, not disagreeing with you. Just get a giggle of it.
Of all the quarterbacks from the CFL to go down to the NFL,
Strevler.
Strevler's one of them.
You know why he got that
Jeez.
shot? Because he partied with a fur coat and a cowboy hat in the parade.
Sick.
Solid.
Did he ever?
Solid.
It was a good look.
Yeah. It's kind of like, just reminds me of PK Subban on ESPN. First take. And the looks that he's been throwing out there.
Won't even watch
I
it.
won't watch it either. I will not give that a freaking click. I won't do it. What did you think?
It's Subi being Subi. That's what it is.
Was he roasting McDavid or was he?
No, he was fine. It was just like him and Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith grabbed his hat, put it on, pretending to be like PK. PK's talking about all his fashion and how it doesn't come from the U.S. And I'm just like, oh my God.
What?
Yeah.
Where
watch the
does he
clip.
think it comes from?
Italy.
I mean,
He's like,
No.
it's fashion. I'm like, oh my God, Subi. Like, it's just Subi being Subi.
the choochiness is from the U.S. Italy is more refined, more old.
Did you see his outfit?
When I saw the thumbnail. Yeah. And also Stephen A. Smith, where do you have the audacity to talk about hockey?
I don't think he tries. I think he
Do
lets
you want him
PK
to talk hockey or do you want him not to talk hockey? Because I think if you're the NHL, you want him to talk hockey
point.
because you want more people talking hockey.
Yeah.
True that. I understand where you're coming from.
yeah.
Personally, I love that sort of stuff.
He has no interest in talking hockey. That's why they bring Subban in, because I think he fits what they want to do on, was it First Take, right?
He's first take.
Yeah, on First Take. And I laugh every single time.
I just
Now,
don't care.
Subban was defending the Oilers. Being,
Don't care.
it was a whatever game. And then Stephen A. gets into McDavid's got to be better. If he's a league MVP, 2-time MVP, he's got to be better. He can't have 0 goals. He's got to be leading his team. It was an interesting conversation from a guy that doesn't understand hockey, putting all the onus on McDavid. Now, hockey is a completely different sport than what a basketball is or football.
Yes.
Because a star quarterback can make a massive impact in the game. McDavid can also make a massive impact, but he only plays 22 to 25 minutes. It's just different.
But I understand where if somebody that's not fully following hockey all the time, why they would come up with that take. And when you see a star player without a lot of points, you'd sit there and like, well, this is on you.
Yeah. And that's where he kind of tried to paint it that way.
Which I don't dislike that fully, because when teams win, the Stars get all the praise. When they lose, I do believe Stars then also deserve some of the criticism for that. I don't mind Stephen A. going there, but also I'll never watch those clips. Zero interest. It's just not.
I watch just to see what Subi's going to do.
I think Dusty retweeted it, and I'm just like, I don't need to. I don't need to subject myself to this one. Mr. Worst bracket in NHL history.
Exactly.
I still haven't even seen it.
His bracket?
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you want me to go through
I
it
don't
with you?
personally care to
It's
see
awful.
it, but
Okay, but it's
Ben, you can bring it up. That's the thing, though. I think I got the ick from him.
From Stephen A. or Subi?
No, from Subban. Like, I got the ick from him. So when I saw that thumbnail, I actually didn't care to hear what he has to say.
Fair.
If it was Charles, yeah, because he kind of knows what he's talking about, right?
Charles Bark?
You ready for the bracket?
Yes, I am.
He had the Jets beating the Blues in the first round.
Okay.
He had the Avs beating the Stars.
Okay.
So 1-1. He had the Vegas Golden Knights beating the Wild. So 1-2.
2-1.
2-1. Kings beating the Oilers.
Ooh, tough.
Sens beating the Leafs.
I had that too, though.
Lightning beating the Panthers. Canadians beating the Capitals. Devils beating the Hurricanes. So now we're at 2-6. Then he had the Avs winning. He had the Golden Knights winning. He had the Devils winning. He had the Lightning winning. He had the Golden Knights beating the Lightning in the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, that's tough.
I'm looking at this outfit or look, Lewk
Luke.
from Parnell Carl.
Okay.
What those pants are awful. The shirt's nice. The hat I wouldn't wear, but
so baggy.
That's what I don't get.
That's the fashion.
That is the fashion.
That is the fashion.
That's
super,
Italian?
It's a super baggy pant, super baggy shirt, and then you have that big hat.
Are super baggy pants for men in style?
Oh boy.
I think they are. And then you wear a vest, but you don't wear a shirt. You just wear a
No
vest.
thanks. But then he's got a full suit with tight pants. That's way better.
Take the hat off. You're indoors.
That's I don't know. That's not a
Now he's doing
Can't
a
go with that
VR
argument.
thing.
because that's like telling
Apparently
Benny
that's
to
really
take his
cool.
hat off because he's indoors.
That type of the hat that he's wearing, I don't.
He wouldn't be able to sit down in this chair.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know.
His
It's
suits
just,
are really good though.
I think you're on. Benny's not on TV right now.
He does have style,
Yeah.
He does have style.
but his takes are well, they're not outlandish. He fits very much what First Take wants to do. They want to be loud, they want to be brash, and that's why they love bringing him in, because that is what PK is.
So I don't care about morning television in the U.S. or radio, because they're hot take central, which is everything. They have to be they want to one up the other person's hot take. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And it's just not worth my time or anyone's time. Like, you watch PTI, you watch RIP Around the Horn. People just giving decent takes, and sometimes they get a little hotter or whatever, but it's not like Wilbon and Kornheiser don't try to just come up with the most outlandish takes each day. Whereas First Take, when
Up.
Skip Bayless used to be on, it's like, okay, what can I say that is the most outrageous thing ever? Okay.
But it makes you 15 to 20 mil a year.
Yeah, for them, it's that part's great. But that stuff doesn't fly in Canada as much as it does
No, it
You're
doesn't.
right.
No.
And
We
NHL
don't
needs
do it.
more of that, to be honest.
down south.
No,
here?
in Canada. Rather than kind of like a monotone analysis, like you want someone like Biz or somebody.
Well, that's why Biz has
But
become
Biz
so.
is
That's,
Biz
really
isn't
good.
Stephen A.
Yeah.
no, but
Biz
that's
is
why
even
Biz
the same
has
thing,
become
right?
so successful.
He's just a personality.
because he's
Yeah.
a personality,
Yeah.
and hockey does need more personality. I think that is fact.
Hockey has personality.
Oh, I know it does.
Hockey doesn't like it being shown. That's
Also
the
true.
difference.
Yeah,
Hockey does have a personality,
it's got a very big personality.
but the moment you show personality, it's
Shut
shame,
down.
shame. How dare you?
but I don't
Which
like
was
that.
an issue against PK. Like when he was playing, he got ostracized at times because of that. And it's like,
Well,
from a fan
Well-
perspective, but from a fan perspective, in that sense, it's like, well, allow it.
Yeah,
There's other things with him.
PK, there's other things. in the dressing
We could leave
room,
that one.
We'll leave that one alone. But
Yeah.
I know where you're coming from. It just, to me, the reason the NFL and the NBA and some of these other sports are so polarizing is because you get to know players off the field. And so if I've got a Kevin Durant, for example, and I'm only bringing him up because I just saw him going after people on Twitter.
Again?
Oh yeah, he was right in it.
Was it his account or was it?
Oh, it was fully his account. But
Okay.
but people are getting to know who he is, and he's making himself like available, and he's fully out there. You would never see that in hockey because that would get shut down in about 2.5 seconds. But Kevin Durant is one of the most polarizing players in all of NBA. Not only because he's such a good player, but because he's willing to have those moments and he's willing to go after people and he's willing to speak his mind and he's a personality and people are drawn to that. You go back to another example, Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens was an absolute superstar, not because he was just a good player, but some of the antics he pulled off the field drew attention to what he was doing. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong.
Yeah, it wore thin on a couple teams. But
It did, 100%. But what happened? More people watched.
do you remember when he was lifting weights in the driveway?
Hilarious.
That's my quarterback.
Yeah,
one
when he
too.
cries on the mic,
Yeah.
like it's nice to see.
It's easy to forget he was a 49er with Jeff Garcia.
And those
he
are some of
sounds
his best years, too.
Yeah, those were
but
great
the
years.
things he said about Jeff Garcia at the end.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
The thing with personality
Still
is it's like it's honesty and it's passion. You're not just getting numbers and analytics, right? You're actually really seeing someone's view on things.
But the hot take is not that.
Or they could play the villain, right? If
Sure.
like a Shawn Avery, for example. Like if Shawn Avery was today playing in the NHL, that guy would be the most popular player.
100.
Hands down. Because of some of the stuff that he did, you're like, oh my God, what are you doing? And then he comes right off, gets in front of the camera, and starts going off again. He'd be so popular, it'd be crazy.
His Instagram is quite entertaining. If you guys follow him. Yeah.
Does he still like ride his bike through New York City and
And just give it to people.
Yeah, he does.
people? Yeah.
He does. He also has like a television with the like a pointer stick that he like
breaks down
analyzes.
plays.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
breaks down plays. But I didn't see him do any for this matchup, this finals. It's usually to the
He
east.
loves Kucherov. Thinks Kucherov's best player in the world.
Kucherov's phenomenal.
He is a pretty good player.
Yeah, pretty damn good player.
Yeah.
Not Connor. But.
I never minded what he did to Martin Brodeur with the stick in the face.
Hilarious.
I don't know why that got a banned.
Because it was him.
I know.
Yeah.
Like that has to be why.
Yeah.
That seems like a decent move. If you get hit with the puck, it's your fault. You're not paying
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why that would be banned.
Because the NHL doesn't like things that rock the boat.
And that was a
that's what was happening. It was rocking the boat.
That got under Martin Brodeur's skin.
Big time.
They didn't shake hands at the
No.
end of the series.
But that
He was
was
so pissed off.
and that was like an innovative way to block the goalie. Like, I'm going to look you in the eyes. I'm going to put my stick up here and I'm going to get in your face so you can't see the damn puck.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Oh, I thought it was great.
And then they banned it like immediately. They never banned things like snap of a finger. And that one, they're like, nope, we can't do that anymore.
Do you remember when he came on? Was he in Calgary at the time? When he started talking, he gets on camera. He's like, "Yeah, all these players love my sloppy seconds."
Well,
Oh my
That was
That was
young
goat.
enough.
I was like,
I have a story about
Young
that.
enough.
that was.
He was
but
Dallas
there was
at
a
the time, I
couple.
think.
There was a couple other guys that had done the same
Goat.
thing. Because he was with Cuthbert at one point. I think he was
Yes.
with Alyssa
That's what it was
Milano.
about.
Yes.
But he was also with Alyssa Milano.
Oh, okay.
I heard Alyssa Milano likes hockey players very
yep.
much.
Yeah, I've heard the same.
Yeah. Okay, so you bring that up. A text says, I wonder how the quote unquote sloppy seconds quote would go over in 2025. LOL. I was working for the Score at the time. And after that went down in Calgary, they're like, hey, the Stars are coming to Edmonton next. We need you to be in the room and get fallout from everything. And I was like, okay. Like still in college, like 21 years old, go down there. And Modano teed off on him. Marty Turco teed off on him. I can't remember who the coach was back. It might have been Dave Tippett, but they were ripping
Guys
him.
were so mad.
They hated him in Dallas. I remember.
Wow.
I think it was Mark Fistrick when he was there. Told a story where they're playing sewer ball, the soccer ball game, and Avery was like in the corner close to them on his phone before the game, and the ball like went to like rolled to him. And they're like, "Hey Shawn, why don't you come play?" And he like looked up at from his phone and looked back down and didn't even answer and just kept playing and didn't even kick the ball back to the guys. Like stuff like that. But I remember Marty Turco being like, this guy's an idiot. And Mike Madonna being like, he really needs to watch what he says.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, what is happening right now? Where am I?
There was a story of him when he was playing for Detroit before he moved on to LA, where they were playing the Avalanche and he was on the bench sitting next to Brett Hull. And he's like screaming at Sakic and he's just giving him. And then Hull gives a tug of his jersey, goes, no, that's Mr. Sakic to you. We don't chirp him. I was like, oh, that's cool.
I love Joe Sakic. Him and Steve Yzerman are my two favorite players growing up.
Very, very good amazing hockey players.
Yeah.
And great job as GMs, although Yzerman's taking a little bit of hit with Detroit right now.
Yeah.
His
Guys are
legacy.
playing.
The Yzer plan
Not
just
going
not
so
working.
well.
Yeah.
Bueno.
Sean Avery's son, so cute. He teaches him golf and makes him play golf. So I'm telling you, his son is going to be the next Sean Avery, whether it's in golf or it's in hockey. You're going to see
Like
a
Happy
kid.
Gilmore.
Is this good or
Yeah,
bad?
it's going to be. I think he will be a big personality when it's his time.
Yeah. Because didn't he do like an internship for Vogue while he was
Yes.
playing for the Rangers?
Yes.
Like that stuff to me is hilarious.
That I think is cool.
I think it's wicked.
Yeah.
I love hearing the stuff people do away from like the story. I will mock the players of the Calgary Flames for this. That Dougie Hamilton never got along with his teammates in Calgary because they liked going to like Earls or something all the time, and he liked going to museums. That was the story that went out there. I have no problem with the guy that wants to go to a museum, but he had to get traded to Carolina because he liked museums
And you didn't like just getting hammered with the boys all the time?
all the time. That's-
Like weird. You don't want to go out 7 days a week, maybe just 6 and go to a museum once in a while because maybe you like that?
one day a week.
How dare you?
Expand your mind a little bit.
Yeah.
This is the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada Storage experts, more than 2 decades helping Canadians through life transitions. Canadian storage provider. Find a convenient location nearest you. Sentinel.ca. Belle, Jasmine, Tommy, Benny, Matt with you here on the Hangout here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Coming up in about an hour's time, it is the Lock Shop, myself and Huss. We've got 2 guys and a goalie today. EST afternoons. A Reed Wilkins show with Jay Mill until 5 o'clock. Then the GCL Diesel Ulstrom pregame show live from Hudson Bourbon Street, West Edmonton Mall. Tommy, Hernan, and Cass will get you set for Oilers Panthers Game 4 tonight down in Sunrise. They will also have the post-game show for you tonight as well, as they'll recap the action before the series shifts back to Edmonton. A quicker one, Saturday Game 5. Will this series be 2-2? Will it be 3-1? We will find out in a little bit. U.S. Open also underway. JJ Spawn currently atop the leaderboard, 4 under. Woo Kim, Dietrich, both 2 back. What's the highest? Rory's even right now. Pendrith, +2. That's T20.
Conditions outrageous.
I believe so.
Yeah.
That's the U.S. Open. I love it.
It's kind of nice to see par mean something.
Yeah, I like seeing these golfers get challenged. I like seeing them complain. I love them afterwards going, this is ridiculous. Why are we playing this? Because it's like, yeah, well, you're being brought back to earth to a degree. Like, I don't, you guys for most of the year go shoot -20, -22 through a tournament, you know. I don't mind a tournament that's the winning score is -1, -2 maybe, or even some years +1. Like, I don't mind that.
If them getting beat up at the U.S. Open because of just unbelievably hard conditions helps us maintain like the ball technology and the club technology as hackers, I'm more than okay
I
with
wonder
that.
what's going on with that.
I
should've
haven't
been
heard
happening by
anything.
now,
Yeah, the ball, they were going to try to dumb it down, I guess, but and Justin Thomas popped off, and I agreed with. I like Justin Thomas.
Good dude.
I think he's
Well spoken.
legit. Yeah, but
Yeah.
but if it takes that for them to turn into a bunch of whiners that have to fight for par, I'm okay with it.
And then you got the 4 majors, which are all very distinct. The Masters is very elegant, eloquent. You know, it's just beautiful. Like, it's got the prestige to it. The Open Championship, legendary, been around forever. The link style,
Traditional golf.
weather is always going to be a factor when you get to that one.
Yeah.
PGA Championships generally just the easy one, like in terms of scores will be had.
Yeah, it's like
We're
the
gonna-
fun one, right?
Yeah, like it will go out there. We're wherever. So that's PGA America, I think, runs that one. They go, come on out here and like we're gonna try to make this score as high as you can type
Yeah,
thing.
let's go.
And then the Open is like, screw you guys. What's the hardest thing we can make you? Like
Putting on glass.
We're
today.
gonna put a tree in front of the tee box.
Yeah.
So you have to hit around this. You're like, how ridiculous can we make this, and how challenging can we make this? And I do enjoy that because once a year to see them struggle, and then like par means something.
Yep.
Like we're not like it's okay. Which one are the birdie holes in this one? Because watch
can
those holes
attack.
to see. Because if you drop those ones, well, you better hold on to the par the rest of the way because you're not making up ground and you can quickly lose ground. So I do enjoy the U.S. Open.
I like Rory, but at Augusta, when I can't remember what hole it was, but he went from like one edge of the rough that was right by the water, and I don't know if he sculled it, but he went into the water and then he had to go back. And I think he took like a quad or something like that. I'll be honest with you, I enjoyed watching that thoroughly. Even though I
'cause
like
it felt
Rory.
like you.
I'm like,
golfing,
wow, I
right?
do that.
Yeah,
I do that often.
it's nice.
Yeah.
Sculled it again.
Whoopsies.
The only time I actually did feel bad, like it's Spieth. Dunking it twice. It's the second one, right? Like he does the first one, that's fine. Oh, okay, he screws us up. But then the second, where then you know he lost the green jacket.
Yeah.
That one I lost. I just want.
I like Spieth.
I would say he's probably my favorite golfer.
Me too.
I like
He needs a PGA, and he's got the career Grand Slam.
He
think
can
that's
get
it.
He's still young enough. And Scheffler, I have a lot of time for too. Seems like a good dude.
How is Scheffler doing right now?
Benny, are you surprised that Tommy didn't be like, why do you feel sorry for that guy?
That's a good question. Is your emotions, doing all right?
My emotions are fine.
They're in check.
They
For context, I called out Tom yesterday because he said what were we talking about? Carolina. We're talking about
Carolina.
Carolina.
Felt
on
bad
home
about
hockey.
Carolina.
We're like, do you feel bad for Carolina? Like they've like tried getting the superstar. And they've like been a contending team, but they've never been able to get over the hump. And I was like, no, I don't feel bad for them.
don't. I'm so.
How many guys do you not feel bad for? Like me,
They
no,
even-
you're sitting there like, oh yeah, I'm like.
They even went and got a superstar. The
they're like,
superstar didn't
and
want to
you
be
won't
there.
Like he just
Like it's just a tough situation for Carolina. Screw them.
Now that is not a direct quote, but it does
might as well have been.
encapsulate my sentiment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's wrong with that one.
I have a hard time feeling bad for a lot of pro
Things or
athletes and
people?
teams, and
Yeah.
billionaires. Yeah,
Yeah.
They live in a different world now. Situations, fan bases, staff of teams that put blood, sweat, and tears into it.
Do you feel
Yeah.
bad for the Carolina fan base?
A little bit.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
a little bit. But
little
they've
bit.
had a good team for a while. And
Oh, okay. So that doesn't really matter then.
no, it matters. It's just
Oh, okay.
a little bit of sympathy.
I think
for them.
it can be tough though to like have a cheer for a good team that doesn't get over the hump.
It's like
every
San
year.
Jose.
Like Toronto.
Like man,
No
Hey,
sympathy there.
Toronto's
No.
a good regular season team.
Yeah,
We
right.
can't-
But it's
debate
but
that.
it's Toronto, and they
yeah.
pull it all down.
Well, yeah,
when it comes to
I-
the Leafs,
Yeah, I guess I should say their fans. Yes, I guess I don't feel bad for them. A
Raptors
lot
fans
of
are
them.
different.
right?
Yeah.
Jays fans are different.
I have a tough time
No,
feeling
they're
bad for
not.
Canucks fans like Jasmine.
Jays fans are not different.
Fair enough. I just didn't. I just.
They are.
Yeah,
I just
San-
wanted to put the
San Jose's
Leafs in
another
their
one,
own
too.
category.
Yeah, that's fair.
Leafs are in their own category.
Yeah.
Jays are closer to Leafs than the Raptors.
Fair.
Dallas
I
fans?
will give you that.
Dallas
Cowboys?
Stars fans.
Dallas Stars fans, I don't mind.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. Do you feel bad because they've had a couple teams now that have been pretty damn good.
Yeah.
They haven't been able to get over
The only team I don't ever feel bad for is the Cowboys, and the only reason I like watching them lose is because Stephen A. Smith, after every single loss, puts on that cowboy hat, films himself laughing, and I think it's the funniest trolling I've ever seen. And so I get a kick out of it.
Giants fan?
I don't know what team he cheers for, but I don't care. I
he's
just
a
want to
New
see him
York
put
guy.
on
He's
that cowboy
Yeah,
hat.
Big Knicks. I feel like he's Giants.
He might be a Giants.
Because the only reason you'd hate the Cowboys too, like with that hatred, is your NFC East, which means you're an Eagles, Commanders, or Giants fan.
He's usually got like a cigar in his mouth. He's just laughing his ass off. Like it's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
So-
it's true. It's like the first thing
Yeah.
once the game's over. You click Twitter. It's a selfie video of him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
It's like
it's really
coming.
good.
Yeah.
What a horrible job AI Google is telling me. Stephen A. Smith's favorite NFL teams are the New York Giants, Green Bay Packers, Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Philadelphia Eagles. He's also a fan of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, he is a fan of Dallas Cowboys losing, though.
What team is your favorite?
He's
Colts.
got 4 teams.
You're a Colts
Sorry,
fan?
say that louder.
Colts.
Oh.
The word is Colts.
Colts.
No
It's not
comment.
big.
So are you okay with the owner going down onto the sidelines with a headset, having the play sheet, and then understanding, like, basically saying, I need to know who's messing up here because it might not be the receiver.
Did
It
she
might
say
be.
she's going to do this, or has this happened before?
I think it's happened already.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, and
Irsay's
she's got
daughter?
like a Irsay's daughter, and then she's got like the armband on with like some of the plays.
Really?
And she's like, I want to know what the deal is. This could be a Sentinel situation. I have no idea.
I saw this story.
But
I
you
didn't
saw it
click
too,
on
right?
it.
So basically,
So she made odd comments. The new principal owner and CEO of the Colts, Carly Ursay Gordon, is facing backlash from NFL fans. This is from BVMsports.com. So I
Could
don't
be a
think this is
Sentinel situation.
because I didn't hear about this,
She's facing backlash for comments about wearing a headset during games. She took over following her father's death, believes it helps her. See, the thing is, there hasn't been games played since this.
No.
So that's what the only
he
part of
just
it's weird.
passed
I
away.
know.
But
Yeah.
it could
But
be
it
just
belie-
training camp games.
Okay, it says believes it helps her understand the complexities of managing a football team. So she wants to be able to understand what they're saying
Yeah.
and be able to explain, like, okay, for her, she believes it'll give her greater insight that if she ever had to fire a coach
Yeah.
or not make that decision, she would know what they are saying in the game to understand it.
And is it the receiver or the quarterback's fault on what the play or the lack of success on certain plays versus was it a coach putting it in wrong or whatever? And she kind of just was like, we pay a lot of money to GMs and head coaches, so I want to know, like, are you doing a good job?
What do you think, Jazzy?
I think that's pretty good. I mean, if your team is not doing well, because the Colts are not a good team still, why not?
did it in
And basically,
2024.
Yeah.
I feel really like attacked because this is what I'm going to do to the Oilers locker room. If I have to, I will. Okay.
You gonna go wind it up again?
Right.
Let's go,
Let's
Jazzy.
go.
Let's go. Wind it up.
Let me give you guys a stat I wanted to get to. So 10 games, so the last 10 games, the Oilers and Panthers have played between this series and the last Cup final. Whoever scores the first goal in every game wins.
So do you think Daryl needs to go in there and put a truckload of money and say, whoever gets the first goal, you get that money?
Yeah, sure.
There you go.
Pay to play, baby.
50? 50?
50 sheets?
Yeah.
For the first goal? Damn.
That's motivation.
Damn.
I wonder how many passers there would be, though. Like,
0 passes.
Yeah, like everyone.
I'm going end to end. I don't care.
Oilers have 25 shots in the first 3 minutes of this game.
Oh my God.
new
That'd be
approach from the
so
Oilers.
good.
But shots from everywhere. Like, guy gets across the red line, just fires one in. I'm not getting this.
That might be the first time you might see like if a guy like fires it and squeaks past Bobrovsky, but it's not in, and the guy taps in behind him. The one guy that shot that puck like slamming his stick on the board.
Yeah,
It's
you
like,
just see guys diving at the
They're up
net.
1-0. This Bouchard's mad because Evander Kane celebrated took away his goal.
hits off Vander Kane's ass or something, goes in. Like,
Oh man, that would be priceless.
it would be if Vander would score it too, and then he'd flex
Probably,
it.
yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
He's got his, what do they call, honey buns?
I got my honey bun.
The official drink of the EST Hangout, by the way, it is the Finnish long drink legend in 1952. A drink unlike any other sparkling refreshment, real liquor, longdrink.com/Canada. We can enter a postal code and find a liquor store establishment nearest you with the long drink in stock for you to have. Maybe for tonight's game. Maybe you can have it at Game 5 as they have the deal with OEG at Rogers Place. Maybe Bellsy will take it to his golf tournament next week as he plans his long day as he goes to the Elks game following his golf tournament.
Perhaps. We'll see.
And brings Jazzy with him.
Yeah. I'm fine, okay. I'm not always yelling at everybody.
That's fair.
Okay, so you guys watch a little bit of Association yesterday? Catch the highlights at
For
least.
3 minutes.
Like the end?
Yeah. And then I fell asleep.
Okay, how could you fall asleep?
I was tired.
And he has 2 kids.
Also true.
Pick up your goddamn kids. Yeah, so the game yesterday was quite exciting. It was boring in the first quarter. Ben, you watch any of it?
I watched the first 10 minutes.
For 10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I watched Shea give an elbow to the guy in the first thing of the first possession for OKC. I was like, whoa, that's a little Canadian hockey in you.
yeah, right.
Yeah, and then I had to go play ball hockey.
Okay, I see.
How'd that go?
It's literally sold a win, but it's all good.
You seem really sad.
No, I do. Like if any of my teammates are listening right now, they're laughing at me. I like if I didn't play yesterday, we won. I'm not even joking.
So what'd you do?
Are you talking about your competitive cardio workout?
Yeah, competitive cardio workout. Yeah. First goal was on me. I stopped a backdoor tap and I was playing. I was filling in for a defenseman that stepped up. I stopped a backdoor tap and then I tried making a breakout pass, turned it over, they went down and scored.
Oh, you gave a deep dish to Journal.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then we're down by 1 in the third period. I have 2 like chances in front of the net where I have the goalie beat and I get robbed on both of them. And then we're down by 1 with 3 minutes left. And goalie passes up to me, and I thought that it was my defenseman that was behind me, and it was their guy. So I dropped it back to him after I felt some pressure.
Hot and ready.
2 on 0 with in the slot, and they score. And that's the game.
So 2 pizzas.
Yep.
Attaboy.
Yep.
Me.
So yeah, that was my extended cardio.
Hurts. It hurts.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough.
I feel bad for him. Do you feel bad for him?
Nope.
I don't. You're MVP.
Why? How do you feel bad for someone
he's
for getting a
MVP?
good cardio
He said he
workout?
scored.
He cost his team the game.
Oh, sorry.
Was it the
I
playoffs?
zoned out.
No.
Was it just a regular season game?
Regular season.
Ah,
Got to
don't worry
stay
about
involved.
it. Ah, don't worry about it.
We won last night though. We'd be first place. Now we're 4th.
That's what I said. If it's regular season, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, who
It's not
cares?
playoffs.
Just don't turn it over like that anymore. Can't be handing out pizzas like that, dude.
I was on a hot streak.
I think somebody made
Golden
pizza here
6 straight.
yesterday.
That came crashing
Probably
down.
Joaquin.
Okay.
Somebody made pizza here yesterday?
They
Sorry,
threw it
guys.
in the toaster oven.
Jay's
Was
been
it
making
Jay?
pizzas. Yeah.
It's Jay or Joaquin. It's incredible.
Hungry. I hope they make something today.
Maybe the air fryer got used.
I'd like that. All right, Jazzy, what do you got?
Yeah,
So, sorry, let's talk about association here. It's
okay.
also in the
Oh,
finals.
sorry.
There's a reason there's a 2-day gap for the Oilers game is because there's an NBA on too. Put some respect on
Okay,
it.
sorry.
Gosh.
The Pacers won't go away. They're a pesky team.
They are so interesting to watch. And let's be clear, OKC is my team, but wow, Pacers. And their series almost mimics the Oilers and Panthers to me. Because the thing with the Pacers that they can do is they can execute. They can execute, and that's how they won yesterday against OKC, who has not faced a defensive team like this or pressure from another team. They know how to play OKC, so they're frazzled. It's brilliant. You guys have to watch the 4th quarter of the next game. It is an OKC. The line was only -5.5. That's really close for NBA.
Do you think stylistically, based on the fact that, you have guys like Miles Turner, you have Pascal Siakam, who are obviously bigger players that can live in the post, versus some of the switches that OKC's making with like Shea having to cover Pascal. To me, that's a mismatch on the defensive end. If you're Miles Turner, just turn your back to the basket and just walk people down like Chet Holmgren. So do you think from that aspect, that's why the Pacers are so good and are able to get themselves back into games and not disappear? Or is this just like OKC is just having a tough time with the fact that it's such a scrappy team?
No, I think it's because the Pacers have depth, like the Oilers have depth that they're going to show up today. Trust me on this one. Pacers had, their bench had 30 points in the first half. OKC only had 11. They're shutting down the star players, and your backups need to deliver and make shots, and it can't be just your stars anymore in the finals, right?
Depth.
Depth.
Yeah.
Love that word. Not the dick pic word, the depth word, right?
Oh, yeah, Brett Favre.
Okay.
A couple of texts I want to get to. Nate the Builder says, he's such a disappointment. He makes his own pizza. And then you got another text calling you Benny Bouchard.
Hey,
That was.
go get your
good.
10 mil.
Yeah, I was
Go
gonna
get your
say,
10 mil.
If I get 10 mil the end of it, give me that. I'll take. No, Bouchard's not like dropping the puck to 2-on-0 in the zone.
Well, I'll throw something out there. Let's get to Play Alberta over or under as I look this up. For Play Alberta, right now the promo codes for Play Alberta with this month for EST. EST Casino, when you deposit 20 or more and you get a $50 casino bonus. Deposit 20 more and use EST Sports, you'll get a $50 free bet. Or YEG50 when you deposit 5 or more for a $50 free bet. I can't find the tweet right now, but I saw something in Frank Saravalli rumoring Bouchard 10 point. It wasn't like a 10.5, it was like 10.8 or something. So 10.5, I'll set it at. Over under, what does Bouchard get on this next contract for AAV?
At 10.5?
I'm going to set it 10.5.
Can I go first?
Go for it.
Oh, 10.5.
Because apparently both sides, he was saying both sides want to get something done.
Yeah, over.
They want to get the, but you think over?
I want to say under, but I think it ends up being over with the way
Like
he's
about
been.
what?
Closer to 11.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I prefaced it by saying I don't like, but I think will get over 10.5 per.
Jasmine?
I wouldn't give him that, by the way. Just so we're clear.
Yeah, I'm with Tom on that one. 10.
So that's under.
That would be under.
10. I say 10.
Okay. So, but I picked they're going to end up giving him the
10.
over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Belsey?
But I would be with you in principle on. I'd rather him be on the under.
Let's see if I can find where
Will
the
he-
number was.
Will he take a hometown discount to
No.
be able to get a little bit more scratch left over for adding another player? That would be the only question I'd have.
I guess no.
So the question, so then I'll go what is then proper value? Like,
Proper?
because then we
that
got
varies on the person.
because then it's like, okay, what's hometown discount from that? Because on market, could he not go get 12?
I would
no,
be shocked
more
if
than
he wants to
12.
offer
Yeah,
you.
Okay, sure. So right there is 10.5. Let's just go with 10.5 right off the bat and put it right as a push.
I think he's going to be over, and I think he's going to hit 11. But it's funny, your comment of it depends who you ask. So
Yeah.
I left here.
That's why this is very interesting.
I left here, went to the gym, and there was a couple of our hockey guys in there, and one guy's playing pro, and they started asking questions about Bouchard. And I was like, well, yeah, he's a good defenseman. They're like, is he an $11 million defenseman? And the pro player said, not a chance. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting comment because obviously people see what he is. And they're like, well, he can't play D. And I was like, okay, continue. And he's like, he's the worst defensive defenseman that is in the NHL. And I was like, whoa, that's an
Have they
aggressive
seen
comment.
Josh Brown?
Yeah, I know. And so then
I see
I
in
was,
the NHL anymore.
but so then I said, well, are we like probably over-analyzing that a little bit? Like, don't you think he's probably an adequate defenseman? Right? Like he's a good defenseman. They're like, no, he's awful. I was like, okay. They're like, offensively, best player in the world.
That's not what I
Like from the defensive end. They're like, he's so good offensively. But they're like, on the defensive end, we wouldn't give him 11. So I just found it very interesting that a guy that's currently playing was saying that.
I don't disagree. I understand where that sentiment comes from, but what does the market dictate?
11.
And the flip side, I'll also
where
just
we're
on the
at.
defensive game of Bouchard, just look what he's done in these playoffs. The guy can play defense. You can't judge it based off the regular season. And honestly, if I'm the Oilers and I give 11 and I get this Bouchard every playoffs, I'm good with
take
that.
that, you take
I'm
that.
good with that.
Absolutely.
That's the, but like he has to be this every playoffs.
He's,
I don't
he's
care. what
playing
the
like he
Oilers
deserves 11 million
Yeah.
right now. From
I think
this
he's
playoff
he's been
run.
playing really good. Yeah,
it's
solid.
It's because what for him, if they want to get a contract done and they get it done, quick. The other contract negotiation that will happen, negotiation quotes to a degree, this summer is McDavid's. And if McDavid's sitting there saying, "I'm going to leave a little bit on the table," if you're Bouchard, can you do that? That's the pressure there that maybe comes from if McDavid's taking some. Like Leon's, the one thing Leon could go with when he got his money was I had a pay cut for the last number of years to a degree. I was far below market value at 8.5. Now, it wasn't that way when he got that contract, but in the end, 8.5 was much lower than what he was deserving of for the last number of years of that contract. I don't know if you could say that about Bouchard. Maybe you could a little
I
bit.
think your lead dog sets the pace. So if Connor said, okay, I probably could get 15 to 17, but I'm going to take 14.
But he won't do that.
I know he won't do that. I'm just saying
It's a hypothetical.
it's a hypothetical.
Well, I'd say
right?
well, you got to think.
but
I
you
would
got-
think he's probably, if I had to guess, 16,
yeah.
and he could get probably 17 plus.
Yeah.
So it's a mil or so that he'll leave
Yeah.
on the table.
What's the max you can pay? Because it's a certain
20%. No, it's not 20% of the cap.
18. I can't remember.
But it's no different than what Crosby did in his years because he kind of set the pace. And
Yeah.
guys were higher paid than him.
He was also the most superstitious player ever. And refused
No
to sign anything
doubt.
that wasn't 8-7, 8-7,
Well,
8-7.
Yeah.
that's
Like,
fair,
Yeah.
but he left enough money on the table to get other guys done. Stamkos, when he was in Tampa, they did the same thing. That's why they were so good for a number of years. So the NHLPA is going to say, take as much as you want. Connor McDavid deserves as much as he wants. But the question is, okay, if you want to keep this competitive window open, and I do understand that the cap is going to go up, and I fully understand that these players are the elites of the elites. But it goes back to the conversation of, do you leave a little bit of scratch on the table at 14, for example, to then get one extra player that could get you over the hump? That would be the question, because if you have Dry at 12.5 and you've got Connor at 16 and you've got Bouch at 11, 10.5, whatever it looks like, what does the rest of your team look like? Do you lose some of that depth that you have?
If McDavid's at 14, Bouch better be in that in 10.
yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, if he's going to leave that much on the table,
Yeah.
Taking
you
less
can't go
doesn't
higher.
work unless everyone does it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
That's kind of what, and that's Pitt did that. Like Malkin probably could have made more than he did.
Mm-hmm.
He took less Letang. Like
We also have to realize the cap's going to be going up a lot over the
Yeah.
next few years. So
That's
that,
right.
that balances this out. And today, I don't know if you guys saw the news out of Atlanta.
Yes, I was gonna bring this up.
Bring it up.
They have confirmed an expansion. So it looks like NHL's coming.
They haven't
back there.
confirmed an expansion. That's not what the deal was. They're starting the process of an expansion. The NHL hasn't confirmed an expansion.
There's like an intent to build an arena. Is that what it is?
Forsyth County votes to approve the final documentation that would allow the cross group to formally propose NHL expansion into Metro Atlanta.
So the process.
Yeah, so
is
the process of this is not expansion isn't hasn't happened.
Okay,
that
okay,
wasn't
okay.
announced
Yeah,
today.
Okay.
There's also rumors
was
of
that they wanted to do that one.
south team, a southern team.
New Orleans. We talked about Nick Anderson yesterday. Well, Tommy did.
He says he thinks it would work there. Because they rally behind their pro teams and they need something like that.
Well, it's Atlanta, New Orleans, Phoenix,
Houston.
Houston.
There's your 36 by the.
People will always go Quebec. Can't put a team in a 500,000 person city with no corporate sponsors.
Well, the Canadian dollars hurt it too now.
Oh, big time.
that,
Big
and
time.
like you're dividing Quebec to like to me like the whole point of expansion is to grow the game and is to expand the league. You're not doing that by bringing a Quebec City team in.
Yeah.
And I still stand by the if there is an 8th team in Canada, it's for the GTA.
Yeah.
I could
Toronto should have 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toronto is big enough that they should have 2 hockey teams in there with how much money that is in that city and stuff.
Yeah.
Before Quebec City, if there's ever one, and the Leafs will fight the hell out of this, and the Sabres probably will fight the hell out of this. But the GTA should have 2 teams. Because there's also a lot of people that are in Toronto that are not Leafs fans. They're not from there, and you give them their own team.
Yeah, and then you go to Atlanta and you go to Houston because they're some of the bigger metropolises in the states and TV deals, and they've got lots of business out there. So I can understand that.
Same with Arizona. 6 million people in and around Phoenix. They tried for 25
Man,
years.
I just don't get that.
It's-
It's mind blowing.
The hockey fan base is not in Glendale on the west side of the city. It is in Scottsdale. It is over there. That's where like the Ice Den is, and the majority of kids are playing out there. They feel like they can get it done. So, yeah.
I mean, they never really had too many great teams either. Like they
No.
made a conference final once or twice or whatever. Like,
Atlanta, this would be its 3rd team,
Yep.
which is insane to me.
yeah.
So Quebec City will get a team.
Why?
Because the first team went to Calgary, the next team went to Winnipeg, the third team will go to Quebec City.
Yes.
That's how this is gonna go.
I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Quebec City will. If Atlanta's announced, Quebec City, congratulations.
Yeah.
20 years from now, you'll have an NHL market team.
Yeah.
That's how this will go.
Yeah.
Based on the history of that city. Also, Penguins might be up, or might be getting sold.
Yeah.
Part of
That's right.
Fenway. That came out yesterday.
Atlanta has also like Metro Atlanta has a population of like 6.3 million
It's huge.
people, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Then you'd have like a rivalry with, would Nashville be a good rival for them?
Yeah, they're just a state away.
And then the Florida teams even.
Yeah.
So you'd have a bit of that.
I would think Carolina. North Carolina and Georgia aren't far apart.
Yeah.
So there might be a little bit of that natural rivalry there.
I have not
That's
been to
SEC
Atlanta.
country.
Yeah. that's
Right? I
SEC.
think SEC country would be the, like if New Orleans went, I think
That's
that
part
you would
of it.
add part of that into there. That's full SEC. So maybe even Dallas to that degree. It's weird that the SEC's in Texas, but here we go.
Houston and Dallas would be a good rivalry too.
Yeah, it would be.
Oh yeah.
You guys brought up Ontario, so I was thinking about the Leafs fans. I was in Kelowna this weekend for my cousin's wedding, and a lot of like cousins and family are also from GTA. Get this. Get this. They were like, McDavid's coming to us next year. How delulu. I couldn't believe that we were related at this point. But they actually did believe this.
Like legitimately? They just
Legitimately.
weren't like chastising you?
No.
That's funny.
It was weird. And they said they're not even watching the finals. Like, what kind of fan base is this?
Would you
Arrogant?
watch the Leafs if they're in the final?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
I won't.
Sadly.
I won't.
I mean, they'd have to.
I would hate
don't
watch
watch them.
them.
I don't hate watch.
A lot of, obviously, I'm sure everybody knows this.
Summer
Lots
outside.
of Oilers fans in Kelowna. I saw flags on houses. We went to this place called King Tap, and it was packed with Oilers fans. Women in these cute T-shirts, all like matching T-shirts and jerseys.
Oh,
And then
what bar?
King Taps.
Okay.
It sold Rosie's, if you guys remember that place. Okay.
I have not spent much time in Kelowna, to be honest.
I was there when I was a kid, and that was about it.
I feel like a lot of former Oilers go and retire there anyway. That's
Yeah.
A lot of hockey players go
Yeah,
there. and
they
retire.
do.
Yeah.
My cousin had rented the whole upstairs, and everybody was cheering for the Oilers. Like, we're talking about like family, friends. That's because they have money on it. And then there's 2 tables of Calgary Flame fans that were cheering when the second overtime lost there. Yeah.
I appreciate that the rivalry remains even in this situation. For
Yeah.
Flames and Oilers fans. It's good. It's good. It's healthy.
It's just cool to see.
Never cheer for your rival.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm just happy to see that Kelowna is like, it's an Edmonton Oilers city. Other than that,
Is it?
Kelowna's whatever.
Or is it like a Vancouver city? And they're just.
I feel
doing
like
it
there's a
because-
lot of Alberta transplants that go to Kelowna.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I'd like to spend time in Kelowna, to be honest.
You would know better. Do Vancouver people go to Kelowna a lot, or do they go other places?
You're right. That's the thing.
do
Why
they?
would they buy a house in Kelowna if they have a house in Lower Mainland?
I don't know.
So
Maybe they
that's
wanted
right.
to-
There's a
maybe
lot
they
of
want a
Albertans
vacation
there.
house.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you're in Vancouver, you'd go like Seattle if you want to, or
Exactly.
you can closer to Hawaii even. There's with an Edmonton type thing, flight or something.
Yeah. Whistler or
don't
something, right? Yeah.
Send me to the
Heard
desert.
great
please.
golf in Kelowna. Yeah, me too.
Great golf in Kelowna.
It is very, very good golf. Yep. I
You guys haven't been though, like recently?
was there last year.
Yeah. Okay.
It was good.
Yeah, guys should go golfing.
I've only been there for the Young Stars tournament. The team would practice. We'd be there for like 2 hours, and then we'd be on the bus to Penticton. So
There's not much to do other than like if you have a boat, that's fun because you have the water. But in the winter, there's nothing to do there. There's no like main arena or something to go watch a concert or a game at.
what
right?
about where the Rockets play?
Prospera.
Yeah, there's like that's like 8,000-9,000, isn't it?
And then there's going to be Penticton next year too.
Yeah, Penn's going to be in.
That's a
in
good
it, yeah.
stadium. I like that arena.
It's a nice spot.
Yeah. Although Penticton's small, like it's only like 10 to 20,000 people, I think. But
A lot more quiet than Kelowna.
yeah,
Yeah, it is.
also nice. But yeah, Kelowna looked like the sexy part, and then the Penticton part looked like the bedroom community type of thing.
Yeah, obviously the wineries are incredible, very beautiful, great picture spots. Shout out to CJ from LA.
She's going to Florida today.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm proud of her. Can't wait to meet her at one of the watch parties.
She's now CJ in Chicago, by the way.
Oh yes, sorry. CJ and Shy.
But she says she's still hooking us up for LA in 28.
Yeah.
Maybe she's listening on her flight right now. Let us know.
Portions of this hour of the EST Hangout, they are brought to you by the High Product Marketing, official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Stock, promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out, highproductmarketing.com. We've got about 20 more minutes here on the Hangout. It is game 4, Oilers-Panthers, 6 o'clock, just after 6 o'clock out in Sunrise before the series. It shifts back to Edmonton for Saturday. If the Oilers win, then there'll be a guaranteed game 6, which will go next Tuesday. Down in Sunrise. And then I know many people know already, but if there is a game 7, it will be next Friday, which, yeah.
Woof.
The anxiety.
It's going to be something else.
Overtime.
The anxiety.
Bellsy's already put that in the air, put that in the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we asked a question yesterday.
Yeah.
What would you rather have? The Oilers win in 6, right? Comfortably down in Florida. There's not that big celebration like there would be if it was at home.
There's still
Right? There'd be a celebration, but it wouldn't be as big and you wouldn't be in front of your fans. Or would you rather see game 7, double OT, win?
No, I'm good. I have tickets to game 6. I want to go see them. I want to see McDavid hoist the cup in Florida. I'm completely fine with that. I can party after.
So you don't want that game 7 double OT.
No.
If you know the Oilers are winning, like if that's the scenario here, I'm taking game 7 double
Yeah.
OT all day.
100%.
man.
If you know they're winning.
Because that could
That's
you
if you
imagine
know,
how
but you
loud-
don't know.
But we're in this scenario, he's saying
in
that
this
it's-
scenario, it's both
one of
wins.
those-
Okay, fine, but do
It's the
you see the
The
future?
excitement.
just the legacy of that win would hold for a long time because
Absolutely.
part of hockey history would be that goal scorer.
The
Connor
goal.
Brown has
Yeah.
game 7 when he gave the Oilers the
Yeah.
Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
It's the Crosby's golden goal. Remember, we will remember McDavid's 4 nations.
Sure.
I believe there's that will be part of hockey history. When was the last time a game 7 went to overtime? Has it happened in
My
the Stanley
gosh,
Cup
can you
final?
stop though? Like, I get
I
it.
don't even care about the goal. I would just want to know how loud the building would go off. Like that place has hit 118 recently, did it not?
On the Perry tie?
Yeah.
Tying goal?
Part of that, I do have to say that it's a horn adds to that. Big time, because I'm just because it's generally when the Oilers are coming out onto the ice, they're around 108, 109 decibels on the scoreboard. Horn goes, it jumps up to like 113, 114, and then the horn's off and it's back to 108, 109.
Which is
Just
fine.
throwing that out there.
But could you imagine how loud that would be?
Obviously, it'd be the wildest thing in
It'll
the
be loud no
world.
matter
Like, yeah.
what once they win. I
Dude,
believe.
if it was a double OT win at home,
I don't think it needs to be double OT. You can
Yeah,
just
Bellsy's
overtime.
not
just- I'm
You
toxic.
just do just overtime
I think-
in that situation.
I think double OT, like, I remember watching game, that was game 2. Game 2, and, like, you were riding that high of tying the game, right? And then that first overtime goes, and then, like, I just remember being, like, tired. And
Yeah.
the second overtime, I was like, all right, this game needs to end.
Exactly.
Like,
It's
who's
exhausting
putting this home?
mentally. That
Yeah.
kind of killed. It didn't kill the party, but like,
yeah, I think if
we're
Edmonton
all
won that
glued
game,
to
you
the
want to
TV,
score
yeah.
early.
the reason I keep saying like double OT is because you have to go through a full
Yeah.
period of like the highs and lows of the chances. Every time there's a shot on net, you're like, oh my God, like don't go in. And then every time there's a shot for, you're like, whoa, nah, come on. So you'd be riding this wave. And so you'd be just like, there'd be so much energy
What about
like,
triple OT?
bent up. No, because you're exhausted by that point.
Yeah.
I think you get exhausted by double OT.
Double
Yeah.
OT,
I think
you
first
still have a
overtime.
little
Late
gas
first
in the, you
overtime.
have a
Late
little
first.
gas in the tank, and it would be emptied.
2 players in the history of the NHL have scored an overtime game 7. 1950, Pete Babando,
Of course.
with the Red Wings.
Legend.
I remember that vividly.
1950,
Oh yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah,
1954, Tony Leswick from the Detroit Red Wings. Beyond that, we have not seen a Game 7 overtime in the Stanley Cup final.
And Tony L.
The winning teams, players that have won the Stanley Cup in overtime, Alec Martinez in 14 with the Kings in Game 5. Patty Kane with the Blackhawks in sixth game in 2010.
Yeah.
Jason Arnott with the Devils in 2000 in Game 6. Brett Hull naturally Game 6, 99 Sabres, foot in the crease.
Controversy.
Uwe Krupp.
Uwe Krupp.
Uwe Krupp, thank you.
Yeah. Against Florida.
96, Game 4. Before that, then it was 1980 that an overtime was a winner for the Stanley Cup. So, Jacques Lemaire did it in 77. Bobby Orr did it in 1970. Henry Richard did it in 66. But a Game 7 OT win, it to me, it would be a pretty cool history. Like, it'd be a legacy for this team for long term.
Yeah.
If you tell me the Oilers would win it versus in 6, I think Game 7 you'd rather have. On home ice, all of that.
Yes, I agree, but that's only if you know, and I just don't want to think about it because this is real life right now, okay?
Very real life. I'm
There's a
at the
game
point,
today.
You are being fully an Oilers fan right now. You're riding that wave.
I'm at the point now where there's only 8 possible days left of the hockey schedule. Thank God.
Wow.
So I
8?
say bring on the chaos.
Bring on
Like
the
total.
chaos.
Oh, you're counting him days
If it
off too.
goes to 7.
Oh, okay, days off. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm just viewing it. Okay, there's max 2 more times we'll go to Rogers Place.
Yes.
but maybe only one
Yeah,
more time.
but there's
and stuff.
8
That's-
days of cup final
Right.
possible.
You all ready for the draft?
Yeah, okay. Who's getting drafted? I have no
And
idea.
free agency?
Free agency's a fun
Free
day.
agency, whatever.
I think
I
that
always
Bring
enjoy
it
that
on.
one. But draft, like the Oilers don't have a first.
No, exactly.
the
So who
NHL
cares?
awards are on today, I think.
They still have those?
Yeah, I
it's
could
not
have
today
sworn.
because it's game day.
That's what I'm.
They're
That's what
announcing Hart today.
okay.
Okay,
They've been doing
all
these
right.
slow
But
announcements.
then
We already
show
know who
when-
won too.
We believe, it's going to be Hellebuck.
It's been leaked, right?
There's a picture of Hellebuck with the Vezina and the Hart.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it's like, unless they
Whoopsie.
put this out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not AI generated.
Nope.
Oh, how about that? Yeah, so bring on the chaos, in my opinion. Take us to game 7, double, triple, whatever you guys want. And all I know is by June 20th, the season's over. And we can all exhale. And maybe we're talking about an Edmonton championship, which would be lovely
Would be
for
awesome.
the city and some friends that work for the team still.
And I think I also want to send a message like 8 days, like enjoy it. Like go out if you need to. If you like to watch it with your parents or at home.
Mix in a water.
Like, yeah, mix in water. But really, like these last 8 days, you're going to miss them. So spend them with the people that you care about that love hockey.
Yeah.
Because I might come out tonight with the nasties.
You should.
Yeah.
I think
so
that would be
Sweet of you.
lovely.
That was so sweet of you. That's very caring.
Sweet. I say mix in a water in jest, but also sincerely because I was walking.
Don't say
through,
in jest. That's
I
actually
know,
a good
yeah,
advice.
Actually, please do because I walked through Ice District, the plaza yesterday, and there were so many pukes left over.
Ew.
I swear.
I could see that.
Oh, there. It's
Yep.
like, oh, there's one there, and there's one. Because they don't clean them till like game day, where they come up, get the pressure washer, and clean
Yeah.
everything up around there.
Yeah.
And then like basically the streets around the Ice District is littered with pukes.
That's so
And piss.
embarrassing, especially when you have like out of towners in town. Like in New Orleans, they clean it up immediately.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we did that. It would be nice.
We don't do that in the city
of.
of Edmonton. Are you kidding me?
Right?
We would wait for the rain.
Show our work.
Yeah.
But you're
wait
supposed to get a lot of
we
rain
wait for
coming
it all to be done,
let the
and
rain,
then you do
birds
it.
eat it.
Yeah.
Rain today, rain tomorrow, rain
Nice.
Saturday.
Good. It's
Oh,
good
there
for
you
that
go.
Yeah,
smoke.
See,
like, let's
perfect.
wash some of that away.
Save a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Well, Saturday though there might be moss pit action and stuff.
I don't think there's supposed to be a ton of rain today, is there?
Some would be nice.
Showers. It says it was supposed to be around noon. It was supposed to start. Now I'm not seeing much. Cloudy with 60% later tonight.
Jeez.
What do I have here? 80% right now, 80% at noon. It's 80% until 6, then it turns to 60%. And it's
Let's get some
60% until 10 a.m. tomorrow in the next 24 hours.
Okay.
So greater than 60% chance
Of showers.
of showers throughout the next 24 hours.
Okay.
So
Not too shabby.
is Mother Nature sending Edmonton a message?
Is it all
To
smoky?
clean it up.
Is it all smoky up there
Where?
in your condo? Like, can you?
Oh, yeah.
Can you?
Yeah, yesterday got bad.
Looks eerie. Yeah.
I wish we had summers and we didn't have to worry about smoke.
Yeah, it's so recent.
There's I noticed this on Weather Network. I know it's not Josh Clausen's preferred weather app or Murray McCourt's, but the
smoke forecast?
Yeah, and they actually have the smoke radar now. The map. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, but that's still. I don't know why it has me in Calgary, but yeah, it has it.
Well, it's now an actual forecast that we have to live
Yeah.
with, where it's the forecast is smoke. Okay, great. That's awesome.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
Absolutely brutal.
Hopefully we don't have it for July 8th.
It's like you're on the darts, but you're not really on the darts.
I'm close to being able to see. I should be able to see what that. I never believed that long-term 30-day forecast, but I got to start looking at it for
Last
the
year it
golf
was like
tournament.
what, plus 30?
It was like 32, 33.
Yeah, it was.
It was
So good.
yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
So
unusual.
I hope we get like 25, 26, I think would be ideal for the golf tournament.
Put it at 30. Let it buck.
I'm with you, but
Let it buck.
there's a lot to. There's a lot of fluids that can be taken that day.
Ingested?
Don't worry. Yeah, fluids and stuff. There's a lot coming, so be ready for that.
Explain.
Drink wise.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Sorry,
I was kind of confused at what you were trying to put
Yeah,
down
there's all
there.
kinds of fluids.
There's lots of
And
fluids.
you
that
said a
are,
word
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just right now.
Are we keeping this on the tracks? Or are we going off
I
again?
thought we went way off pretty early, but
We did. 9 minutes into the show, we went off.
whoopsies.
Yeah.
Right now, 22 degrees with rain.
I don't believe that.
Says AccuWeather.com. I don't believe those ones at all, but
not accurate.
no rain, please.
Yeah, no showers.
That's the only thing you don't want at a golf tournament. It's just no rain.
Please no rain.
Only thing.
Yeah, I don't want dampy hair.
That's exactly.
I know
what
Tommy
was
doesn't either.
thinking. I will be wearing a hat.
I know it's like we're kind of end the show, but I have a quick question. So Nuge is playing today, so that's awesome. What do you think he's struggling with?
His wrist.
Yeah.
I've been saying it like the last 5 days.
What's up with the wrist
Ouch.
injuries
Why
in
don't
this
you listen
team?
to me anymore?
I do. There's just
Then you would know.
No, it's just because of the toxicity that we had to deal with. Sometimes I
he
can't
has a wrist
toxicity?
injury.
just the nasty chat and stuff, right?
It has gotten gnarly the last week, I will say.
and like new people,
some
which is
weirdos
great,
in
hit the
there.
like. But like some new people's take, like you're coming here to just like be mean to the Oilers, like get out of here.
Oh, this isn't new, but you know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's also someone had brought it up, some rumor about Stu. I think that's a rumor about his kids and wife. That there's nothing confirmed on that.
Never bring up rumors like that.
yeah,
I don't-
That's
I'm
why I
just
didn't
gonna throw that
mention
one
it.
out there.
Yeah.
You just did.
Well,
Sorry, but you just
but
did.
it is awful for people to spread misinformation like that, because that's not what this fan
Tell me
base does.
offline.
Off.
Yeah.
Tell me offline.
It's stupid. You're stupid.
Yeah.
I get 2 TVs. I have to get 2 TVs going tonight.
Ooh.
Golf?
CFL night.
A bottle of wine, perhaps?
BC Lions.
BC Lions.
Yeah, BC Lions.
Dusty's on the bottle and a wine. Dusty's on the call. He's already put out his video of walking.
I love it.
I got to. I got to doing your lineup actually.
So, Jazzy, you're potentially coming to Hudson's Bourbon?
Yes, I
Excellent.
brought a hoodie. So I work late, so it'd be makes more sense for me to go there than home.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hernan will be on location with me for pregame.
I believe I'll be there too.
Yes.
You're good. Sick.
I'll have 3 headsets for all of us.
No, I never said get on the show. I never didn't say that one bit.
Slugging beer.
It's gonna be crushed.
I am
He's in
I
the
am a
background
fan
stumbling.
right now.
You're
Is this
alumni?
to go hard?
Full throttle? No,
No, it's not full throttle night.
no, it's
No.
not full throttle. night.
You had a doozy of a Tuesday last week.
We don't need to talk about it, Tom. That stuff is in the past, dude.
I do want to say tomorrow, Jasmine's back. Alice Moran is making her return to the EST Hangout.
Yes.
That'll be fun.
So that's going to be a fun one. She
Yeah.
was, for those that don't remember Alice Moran, she was on with Jonathan Torrens last year during the Hangout, and she was funnier.
She is.
She was
is
a lot
filthy.
funnier.
She's
She's great.
Hardcore.
What
Oilers
did she
fan.
ask you when she was? What did she say? If you want someone filthy or like?
Oh,
Who's this? Sorry?
Alice Moran.
Moran.
She's a
Oh,
comedian. She
yeah.
does
She's
CBC
hilarious.
stuff.
She's a big
get the-
Oiler fan.
Yeah.
From Red Deer area or something.
think
if I'm
so,
not mistaken.
yeah.
Something
She
like that. But
said-
she's on Toronto.
Hey, I'm going to be in town for a period of time. If you want a fun, sassy, dumbass guest. I said, yeah, of course.
I'll tune in.
She's hilarious. Her and Jonathan. I thought J-Rock was going to be carrying the show. And he did carry a chunk of it because he's just naturally hilarious. But she stole the show. So she's back tomorrow.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm so lucky I get to be on that show.
You're going to love her.
Yeah.
I think you guys are going to hit it off.
I love funny women.
Matthew and I are just going to sit here and be like, oh my God, that was hilarious.
I hope she does a rant too. You know what? No
She
ranting
pops
tomorrow.
off.
They're gonna win. We're gonna be in good vibes.
You need to
She
go
like-
off again.
No, why would I go off?
She
I don't know. Why not?
'Cause it's gonna
bedazzled
it's
her
time
Oilers jersey.
Sick.
The rhinestones or whatever they are. She 7-snapped it.
Oh, yeah, she was doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She also made a dress that was out of hockey cards.
Oilers hockey cards.
Really?
Yeah.
Because who wore it? She got inspiration from someone else who had like some certain thing, and so she did it with hockey cards and stuff.
There's been a whole lot of that lately. Not necessarily hockey cards, but like different fashions that some of the like players are coming out with. The players' wives are coming out with. Like they're doing some pretty interesting things.
Well,
Sure.
Like there's a football player's wife.
It was
right?
fullback Kyle.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry, I had my eyes closed there. I don't know how to Usyk or
Yeah, but his wife came out with some really cool stuff.
She
love
was doing a
it.
lot of cool things with jerseys. I think she made one for Pat
cool.
Mahomes' wife. She did a lot
Petrie,
in
Jeff
those
Petrie's
things.
wife, when they were in
Julie.
Montreal, and Angie Price, Carey Price's wife, they had a whole clothing line going too while they were in Montreal. They had some pretty good stuff. But yeah, it's just been kind of cool to see like how creative people can be with some of these different.
Even like Lauren Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And like as a woman that loves sports, sorry, I don't want to wear a boxy jersey all the time.
Well, I
Like,
think that's part of it, right?
Right?
Because like the stuff that gets put out there all the time, it's just like, whatever.
Yeah.
And people want to wear like cool, like trendy clothes
That's
that's a
right.
little bit different. And I do think it's cool, some of the stuff that's coming out.
totally like more feminine.
refreshing, actually.
it is
right? Yeah.
refreshing.
Yeah.
I wonder why I didn't take Ready, Set, Sew in high school.
You didn't?
No,
You didn't
I
learn how to sew pillowcases and turn them inside out?
You remember Ready, Set, Sew?
I don't remember Ready, Set,
remember.
Sew.
I did a
That's
sewing
so-
class.
I did.
I sewed a football.
Nice.
Did
Yeah.
they
That's
mix it with foods class in junior
Yeah.
high?
Yeah, I did that in junior high.
Yes,
Me too.
same
And
here.
And I took carpentry as
Yeah.
well.
My aunt was my teacher. It was great.
Wow, it's perfect. But
Great.
in high school,
Hookup.
it was called Ready, Set, Sew.
Oh, I didn't.
No,
do that.
we
I
didn't-
did
we
food, I
didn't
did
call
food
it
class in
that.
high school.
Food was great.
Yeah, foods is the best.
In
Yeah,
junior
food was
high,
so
just
much
crushing
fun.
food.
Shout out
We
Mrs.
cared a lot
Robichaud
about
and
that
Mrs.
one.
Jubenville. They let me crash that
Mrs. Jubenville, Mrs.
class
Robichaud.
all the time.
What school was that at?
Austin O'Brien.
Oh,
Crusaders.
yeah. You were there too?
Yeah. VR.
Yeah. So here's something funny. I did the Oilers watch party signing the other day, and this kid comes up to me and goes, "Hey, you went to McNally?" I was like, "No,
Yes.
I never
He gets
went
so
to
bad
McNally.
about this.
I've never
Go
gone
Tigers.
to McNally, but apparently I'm on the Wall of Fame."
What?
What? Of Nally?
Yeah.
Have you
I
seen
can
a
go
photo
check.
of this?
I'll go check.
And they
Has
reached,
somebody take a picture of this to send you? Or-
McNally has reached out to me multiple times, and they're like, "You're an alum of McNally," and I'm like, "No, I went to Wagner." Like I actually like. I can go back through my phone and see these messages. You're a McNally alum. We'd love for you to do a talk. And I'm like, actually, I'm a Wagner alum, not McNally. I can do the talk, but I don't think it'll hit the same.
Yeah.
Given I've never went to the school. And the kid's like, "No, you're on the wall." I'm like, "Really?" It's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well, I never went there, so that's cool."
That's amazing.
Yeah. I find this one so fascinating.
Well, it'd be cool.
Like, it's
You should feel
weird, man.
honored, okay? Because Nally only has like the best of the best.
Get out of here with that nonsense.
I am
you
fascinated
go
by
to
this.
Queen?
I am just kidding. I'm just
Yeah.
curious how they don't have like, oh, let's look at his records here or something. Like,
Yo.
oh, he didn't. Or like, look at the grad photos.
Also that,
Like, you tell them
I,
what year you
graduated. I
graduated.
graduated out of Kamayakan High School in Tri-City.
I guess maybe they then
Does
think you
Wagner-
started there.
And I did my last fully attended class was at Ross Shep.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does Wagner have you on their wall?
Well,
Yep.
Tana says I
Does-
went to Wagner as well. Got invited to the McNally reunion unofficially, though. I think. So I don't know. Maybe something's getting crisscrossed. Maybe the
What's
records
going
are
on
being
with
There
crossed.
might have been a
schools,
different Sean
public
Bell
schools.
there.
Yeah.
That's that public schools.
What if there,
No
Catholic school system there.
Catholic school, way better. I barely passed religion in high school. My mom had to my mom worked at the school. Remember, she was a secretary.
I wasn't there with her. I don't think.
It was like the last week of 11th grade. She's like, Mrs. Poryunik says you are failing in religion. She's like, you have 9 missing assignments. And I had to do them. I got like a 51. It was awesome.
Creasy Gordy says Google Sean Bell and even says he went to McNally High School.
yeah, never did.
Does that say that?
It's actually it's
Sean
wild.
Bell,
It's
which
wild.
high school? I'm curious about this and attended McNally High School.
You did,
I
didn't
didn't.
you?
It's like this
Sean
is the
Bell, the
weirdest thing.
former Edmonton Oil, they call it oil player, and current coach, attended McNally High School.
Yeah, definitely didn't.
What are the Tigers or what are they?
Yeah,
Yeah, Tigers.
Tigers. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are Tigers over here. Good job.
What's Wagner again? The Warriors.
I don't know. You're the one that says you're from Wagner, apparently.
But you
knew
went
the
to
Tigers.
Russia.
But you knew Tigers, and you don't know what Wagner is.
Yeah.
Don't even try to spin this nonsense.
That's very interesting there,
about
Belsey.
that?
We got to wrap up the Hangout here, presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada Storage Experts. Up next, it will be the Lock Shop, myself and Haas. We've got 2 guys and a goalie, EST Afternoons, Reed Wilkins Show with JML and GCL. These are Olstrom pre- and post-game shows. All tonight is we'll get you set for Oilers. Game 4, Oilers-Panthers coming up. Jasmine's back tomorrow, but on behalf of Jasmine, Belsey, Benny, Tommy, I am Matt. Thanks for tuning into the Hangout here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta. Lock Shop in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Let's go. There you go, right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Zola with here. Joining us today,